Hello, everybody. We're missing one for right now. That's okay. But we are Hard Knock Dice, and my name is Ian. I don't know how actually loud this music is for you guys, so I'm gonna lower it a little bit for right now. Actually, I can never tell which one of these sliders is the actual music. I think it's that one. All right. We're Hard Knock Dice. I'm Ian, the Dungeon Master for this here campaign, which is the Ghost of Saltmarsh, as said below. These three gentlemen around me, minus one for the moment, are the players, the scoundrels, the scurvy sea dogs at this point in time, for the moment anyway, at the distaste of some party members, the glee of others. And yeah, we're gonna play some tonight. Julian will hopefully be joining us here before too long. He was having to do a little travel-y poo, so he's getting shit set up at his destination because it wasn't quite as ready to go as he thought. So he'll be joining us hopefully here before too long. In the meantime, announcements before we get started. As per usual, trying to raise money for the International Medical Corps. That link should pop up here in the chat right about now. They are doing things for the mental and physical health of people over in the Ukraine area, so helping out people who need it, encourage you to click on that link and donate what you can. If you can, it's for a good cause, and you're helping out people in need. So go ahead and do so if you can. Aside from that, I don't know if we got anything. We're in Pirate Town. Shit's going down. We'll have announcements, I think, next month. Probably a couple. Something like that. I don't know. Probably more in Eberron than here. But, yeah. Anyway, our party last week, they were still on a boat, as they had been for a couple other sessions before that. However, at this time, they were very close to their destination. But before they could get there, they had to handle some shit. Mostly in the name, going by the name of Jakob, who was experiencing an amount of religious fervor that was bordering on fanaticism, a little bit of zealotry here and there, a little worrying to everybody involved. He had been fanatically carving / drawing depictions of the Elder Tempest that they had witnessed only a day or so prior, believing it very deeply to have been a symbol sent by Heronius to really prove that, like, bad shit'll happen to people who do bad shit. Justice will come, and it's coming for you. And he wanted to be able to spread that message to hopefully, maybe, like, kind of jostle some people through maybe fear of retribution or the similar awe that he experienced upon witnessing this Elder Tempest, to be better people. But he was a little overboard with it, and so his buddies all kind of had a collective intervention. They said, "Hey, man, you've been on this Heronius thing a little too much, little too much praise. Let's roll it back a little bit." And eventually, Gloob, deciding that perhaps the ring might be causing this problem for Jakob, did a very high sleight of hand check and spirited off of his hand and disappeared to the top deck to wait for something to happen. Eventually, during their conversation, Bart did notice, with his very high passive perception, that Jakob's ring was missing. Decided not to tell him quite yet and to go investigate. Talking to Julian and eventually Gloob, thinking that maybe Clamel had taken it, who was their little boggle buddy at this time. But Gloob fessing up that he had taken it because he and Jakob had agreed a while ago that if it looked like it was doing bad things to Jakob, that he would take it from him to kind of help him out and protect him. Ultimately, Bart returned the ring because Jakob discovered it was missing and started flipping his shit. Probably would have done violence unto some pirates if it had not been discovered in time. But coming to his senses a little bit after its return, after realizing that he hadn't even been able to tell that his ability to perceive his daughter, Sin, had diminished while the ring was away from him, like not even noticing that he couldn't hear her, or that he could see her as clearly as previous, really kind of bringing him back to himself. Our party then proceeded on the last little bit of their journey to Hull's Hearth, where they were greeted by a sight of absolute fucking anarchy in a weird shanty town of wooden bridges and rope bridges and docks and just absolute shenanigans that kind of stretched out from a much smaller natural island out in the middle of the ocean, where they were turned loose by Artois, saying that he would come find them when necessary. Basically, don't do anything stupid. I've told you where to probably stay away from that might make you want to be stupid. Yeah, good luck. I may come for you later. I may just come find you when it's time to go. Peace. And y'all were sent off. You found the Sea Dog's Respite, which is a tavern, bar. It's not much of one single thing that is within the Pale Flowers kind of district, who you guys know is Prosper Artois' prince. And you shortly found some rooms there, got some vague directions from a drunk guy towards Lucian Ward's arcane oddities, who you guys were wanting to seek because you knew that he had created a magical item that you guys had located within Primwater's estate. So you barged into his house shop in the middle of the night, and he just kind of came a-calling, and you guys met a very eccentric fellow. Jakob purchased a decanter of endless water, and that is where we ended off our session, with Bart noticing some interesting details about the gentleman. And that's where we're gonna hop back in, as you guys are in this shop with just a lot of stuff around. Some of it doesn't look like it'd be necessarily magical, but you're not sure. You're told this is a magic shop. So, perfect timing, Julian, as we're going to get going into the session. So, boys, you guys have gotten Decanter of Riddles Water already paid for, and you have the proprietor of this shop right in front of you. Gosh darn it, I can never guess the sliders right. Turn that music down just a little bit more. So, are there any other wares that you may be interested in?
Yeah, sure.
For particularly?
I mean, we're always looking for something that might be able to help us on our journeys.
Well, I have many things that I and pirates and other people have found useful, and at other points, you never know what may come through the shop, so browse away. I suppose I'll show you.
What's this thing?
Well, he plucks up what looks to be a moderately sized, like, carved ivory horn. Well, it's a more minor magical accoutrement is, if you blow into it, a individual of your choice will be alerted. It's quite useful if you're trying to be sneaky. I also have this lock here, which is quite difficult to undo. Magical in nature, most non-magical equipment is unable to penetrate it.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
Oh yes, quite, I have found, and especially in an island full of people who like to steal from you.
Yeah, you could put it in a sock and beat somebody with it.
I suppose you could. You could do that with many things, though, so it kind of defeats the purpose of something so magically inclined. And I forgot what this does, so 1 second. I put this together. And the more drab. This is this orb right here. And he pulls up. It's like a glass orb that seems to be banded in brass. In brass rings that seems to kind of have like just a like white mist that kind of seems to float all within it. But this will always put you in the right direction. North, if you are on the seas. Not particularly remarkable, but very useful if you are on a boat. None of you are missing an eye, so this probably won't be any good, but if ever you do. Magical replacement. He holds up kind of like a blue kind of crystal that seems to have kind of like a metal socket around it.
Real quick before we get too far, what did he say? What did he say the glass orb with brass rings did?
It just, if you would like to look up, it's an orb of direction. You can use an action.
Okay.
It will tell you which way is north.
Gotcha.
Well, I have several packets of this highly magically corrosive substance that can be but dissolve metals and the like. Only a few uses of it though, but quite handy if you're the thieving variety. Or just trying to get in somewhere people don't want you to be. He just kind of looks around as he kind of eyes Julian and Bart mostly as he picks up this next item. It's just a small pearl. And I think a couple of you at least will find this very useful. This can restore some of your magical abilities once a day. Give you a little more juice. Leading you guys over to an armor rack of some very immaculate full plate armor that just has runes engraved all like along in multiple places along it. Seems to have kind of like inlaid with like this weird like metallic blue alloy that seems largely decorative but seems to be just as functional as the rest of the suit. And while I had this for quite some time. Most people sailing the sea don't want to be stuck in a metal death trap. This armor is magical in nature, and it's anything that would give you a zap will do a little less so. I, of course, have quite a few of both the more common healing potion variety and a couple of the more powerful sort. So he has 5 common healing potions and 2 greater healing potions. Just to go ahead and nail that down. Last couple of things that may come to your attention as I have these. He pulls out like a leather bag. Kind of opens out and pours some of them out into his palm, and these marble-looking objects, except they shine with a radiance, like this yellow gold radiance that seems to emanate a little bit from each of them. These marbles can be used to create columns of sunlight, and even the most dark of places can be quite useful if the need arises, or if you are trying to kill certain creatures. Quite the advantage. Sets those down.
What was that? I'm trying to keep up
There-
with this guy and write it down.
Yeah. I'm just gonna run through these, and then I'll start kind of railing off the numbers for you guys. They're little marbles they're glowing yellow, and he said they'll create columns of sunlight. Last couple of items that he's showing you at this time anyway. So these kind of sky blue boots with like silver kind of worked into them in multiple points, like kind of seem to wrap around like around the ankle and around kind of the toe and just decoratively all over the place. These boots can allow one to find perches on thin air a few times. I can't remember if it's multiple times a day or not, but you could. Let's see, I've got it right here. Gosh darn it. It just says you can do it, so I think you can only do it like once a turn or so. But these allow you to gain traction on thin air. Not indefinitely, of course, but perhaps to clear the distance from one mast to the other, perhaps. And lastly, he pulls out a bow, a very, very nice dark wood longbow that has metal kind of along the kind of the hand guard slash the guiding the sight line of the bow, with small like these dark purple, like maybe amethyst that looks like maybe in a couple of spots. This is an interesting instrument of murder, I suppose, is what many who purchase it here will be using it for, but when you shoot somebody with it, it will cause them some mental damage. It will hurt them in their brain as well as with the pointy end. Once a day, perhaps you can try to assert your will over the target when you shoot them. Quite useful, if I do say so myself. So, what he has laid out here for you fellas, if you haven't already guessed, for some of them at least, Horn of Silent Alarm, a Lock of Trickery, an Orb of Direction, and Ursat's Eye, which none of you guys are missing an eye right now, but who knows what could happen. 3 packets of Dust of Corrosion, a Pearl of Power. Oh, I skipped one. So sorry. Holds up a couple of stones that seem to be carved pretty with some runes and interesting. Seem to have vaguely like a side profile of some faces on one side. These can be used to communicate over long distances. Very, very long distances. Limited times a day, of course, but if you are coordinating with somebody. So, Sending Stones. A full plate of Lightning Resist. Like I said, 5 common healing potions, 2 greater healing potions. a bag of Sundrop marbles, which, like I said, those are pretty straightforward. What is using an action, you can throw a Sundrop at a point or object you can see within 30 feet. When you do, it explodes into a dazzling pillar of light that lasts until the start of your next turn. It is 5-foot radius and 40-foot high, of bright light centered on a point where the Sundrop shattered, and it is sunlight specifically. And there are 10 of them in that bag. The boots are boots of the Cloud Jumper. Does kind of what it says on the 10. While wearing these boots, you can jump while in the air as if you'd leapt from solid ground. You can't jump farther than your remaining movement still. You treat all jumps made in this way as if they were standing jumps. And when you make it, kind of some feint stuff. They allow you to jump this way once before you need to make contact with a solid surface again. So you can't just keep jumping in the air. You make a jump, you gotta touch down somewhere. But you may be able to do some shenanigans, especially for those that have some extra jump stuff built in, maybe. Last thing is Bow of Mind Thievery. This is a longbow variant because why make it a short bow? Does an additional d4 of psychic damage on a hit, and when you hit a humanoid with an arrow in this way, you can force them to make a DC 15 Wisdom save. On a failed save, they fall under the effect of Dominate Person for 1 minute, as if you cast by you, so it still does take your concentration. That can only be done once a day. This effect does not... Oh, I'm so sorry. It does not require concentration. In addition, you can use a bonus action to see through that creature's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. Though, you will be blind and deaf during that time. So you could try to, shoot somebody, dominate them, and then go, alright, I'm going to joyride into elsewhere. But, only once a day, DC 15. Doesn't use any, it doesn't use your spellcasting modifiers. I probably should
just imagine the arrow still stuck in them. Yeah, no, guys, I'm totally fine. There's no reason to worry about me.
Totally should have given you the prices as I was listing this off. Sorry. 100 gold for the Horn of Silent Alarm, 50 for the Lock of Trickery, 50 for the Orb of Direction, 75 for the Ursat's Eye. I'm listing off gold numbers, just for the record. Don't everybody start going coppers. 100 per packet of the Corrosion, 2,000 gold for the Pearl of Power, 1,000 gold for the Sending Stones, 2,500 for the Plate of Lightning Resist, 50 gold per common, 150 per greater for the healing potions, 200 gold for the bag of Sundrop marbles, 500 gold for the boots of the Cloud Jumper, and 3,000 gold for the Bow of Mind Thievery.
Hey, price
Powerful, powerful magic item.
Yeah, I'll just look up packets or Dust of Corrosion's on D&D Beyond,
yeah,
right?
There's everything on there except for the Sundrops, the Boots of the Cloud Jumper, and Mind Thievery are all on D&D Beyond. And I should have done this ahead of time. I'll grab you guys some snapshots of the other items so that you can just look them over. Because unfortunately I have not inputted them into D&D Beyond because I'm a bad DM.
All right, DM, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
For the Dust of Corrosion, it says as an action you can throw this dust into the air, filling a 10-foot cube.
Correct.
Could someone be a little bit more direct with something like that instead of just going battery acid? Could I just go like, yeah, or like, oh, let's get rid of this bar or this side of a cage or something. No reason for that part of the question.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be like, okay, cards on the table. I don't want to be like, be free slaves, and then all of a sudden they fucking start just like, like Indiana Jonesing, right? Like,
I'm gonna say, due to its magical nature, you can certainly try.
oh, dexterity checks.
Who knows? Cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll say this.
Natural one.
I'll say that due to the wording of that, I'm just gonna assume that it is a what's the word I'm looking for? That it's volatile in by its nature.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I'll say you can certainly try.
What type of container do those dust pouches come in?
Packets. They're like in little pouches.
Oh no, never mind. we're good. I thought it said any creature in that area, but it's any creature that's made wholly or partly out of ferrous metal. So like
So it's
warforged or
metals and
something.
stuff. It doesn't corrode people. It's not an acidic powder.
Wonderful.
So
I will.
you may have some stuff where things will. It may be loud. Is what maybe the drawback of you like doing a big section. It may just kind of like some stuff may fall apart and make some noise, but it won't like hurt anybody.
I will grab all 3 of those and just sort of set them to the side for right now.
Okay.
I will, as discreetly as possible, try to just kind of shuffle over to Gloob and just try to whisper, "Are we saving our money for things?"
Yeah. But some things can also help us.
All right.
You'd think I'd be better at remembering to have like weird homebrew shit in easily accessible places for you guys.
I am interested in these.
That Pearl of Power seems pretty good. It's a hefty price, but I could do a lot with an extra spell or 2 a day.
There's the other 2 right there. And of course,
You
like I said,
also
bow
put-
mine thievery is a long bow because I think making a short bow is dumb.
Yeah, we'll take it. Can you hype Ursat into
ERSATZ.
And you said the horn was 100 gold?
Yes, the
Mhm.
Horn of Silent Alarm is 100 gold pieces.
All right.
I did throw some common items in there, so those are the 50 gold ones. Not super crazy, but who knows?
I will grab the horn.
You grab the horn of silent alarm.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna set. So far we've set aside the dust of corrosion and the horn of silent alarm.
You said the Pearl of Power was 2,000?
2,000 gold pieces for the pearl power.
All right.
Gosh darn it! I see my mic is.
Art, Jakob, do y'all want the
lucky.
stones? Me and Julian have the earpieces. Maybe getting y'all so y'all can communicate too. Or maybe, wait a minute. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, I mean, what's the range on those stones?
As long as you're on the same plane of existence as the other holder. They only work once a day.
Oh, all right.
Limited. But global guaranteed communication.
Is there like a way you can like power them up or supercharge them so they work more times a day?
I haven't tried.
I mean, I just didn't know if maybe you could get a couple of calls in a day if you don't use it for a few days or something like that.
No.
All right.
Your nights and weekends are free.
No.
That's a boomer joke for you, for all you folks that don't get that.
I'm also gonna place the lock and the orb.
Sure. So those are only 50 gold
Stuff.
pieces, but those have also been set aside.
How are we looking on healing potions?
I think y'all might have one, and then Bart can replenish
See.
a freebie per day.
Per
with,
day, yeah, that's right.
Dragon Vessel.
Oh, I have one.
I also have one. I have one common potion of healing.
Oh yeah, Zendros did have a couple that I think she was able to sell you guys last time we saw her. Oh, that's not good. I will adjust my audio levels. I wonder if it's because my music is too high. Let me see. Up my. Maybe I just need to talk louder. I'm not used to. That's not something I'm used to hearing. Ian, you need to be louder.
Well, remember, your mic is also like auto adjusting itself sometimes. So when you get
that's
loud,
true.
it gets quiet.
Yeah, I really need to fuck around with this thing. I to do it. I think part of it, like I've noticed in Skype, like your little frame lights up. Sometimes it'll just blink out, and I don't know what the fuck's up with that. I need to keep my mic nice and close to my face, which is unfortunate because I touch my face a lot, so I just smack the shit out of it. So everybody just hears.
Do we want more healing potions, or do we need them?
Yeah, I'll probably get that pearl and maybe a couple of them healing potions for my friends here. How many did you say you had?
I had 5 of them will common variety, and 2 of the more powerful.
Maybe
I'll get those 5 common ones and that pearl.
Group everything together. Group purchase.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if you do discounts or anything like that.
No. So that's 5 of the common.
He's like, fuck off.
No. But yeah, so 2,000 gold for the pearl. This will be 2,000 for the pearl of power, and we're setting aside. So far, we've set aside the horn, lock, orbs, all 3 packets of dust and corrosion, pearl of power, and 5 common healing potions.
I mean, I don't know about y'all. The way I see it, we're probably going to get robbed at some point while we're here, right? So we might as well spend it on things that we can keep easier track of.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife always said that if you're making a big purchase, you should think about it over the night.
You were the first one to buy anything.
Well, I mean these points at the 3 things that I point at. That's not that big a purchase. 200 gold.
How the tables have tabled.
All right.
Looks over at Bart. He says, "I think he's been thinking about that purchase more than overnight."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough, right? Our friend's been looking for one of them bottles for a long time.
They're very high demand.
All right.
I want the boots because they're swaggy and they're cool.
They are swaggy.
But advantage on stealth checks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Decisions.
I gotta give up one or
I
the
will
other.
say, like, all the... oh, yeah, you've seen it. Like, all those do, I do believe, require attunement. So you'd be swapping attunement for attunement.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I can switch attunement.
Ah. That could be a problem. Because you're currently attuned to earpiece, sword,
Sperma hunter's
and
coat
then
and
your
sword.
hunter's coat, yeah. Decisions.
I can't get rid of any of those things right now.
I could eat myself very far, but you know.
One moment.
You have a high strength score, so you can jump very far.
You can just give me those boots, and then I'll have advantage on stealth checks and won't make such a racket.
What is stealth check?
That's an obvious joke. All right.
Luke turns around. Shh, what's this?
It's a crossbow, obviously. All crossbows make that noise in this universe.
Gracious. What are you saying, Cody?
The settings look weird using this microphone. Am I able to be heard well?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Using a different mic than usual, so looks weird. Yeah, y'all over there like putting stuff on the table, and Julian is still just like holding up the bow, like testing heft. He hasn't walked away from it yet. He's squinting at it real hard.
It is a very, very nice longbow. Exquisitely crafted of like a nice, like dark, like kind of almost like ash gray wood of some kind. Doesn't seem like it was painted, so you're not quite sure where like what if it's some kind of weird like foreign wood or if that's part of the magic. You're muted.
How much is that
big
bow?
squint.
Big squint. The bow is 3,000 gold pieces. Can also cast dominate person on somebody without concentration. So
is there a D? What's the DC? Does it say? Do you know what the
Only
DC would? 15.
So who knows?
I mean, you got ways of, or you have disadvantage on ability checks with that, right? Not saving throws.
Yeah.
With your curse. Yeah.
Would Julian want the boots of Elvenkind if I were to get these other boots?
Probably, yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that's fucking big. We'll never be able to find you guys. We'll just blow a horn and be like, come back!
Yeah, that's what the horn assign alarm's for. That's what that's for. It's like, if you hear the horn, return to base. But only one of them would hear it. You can only specify one creature with the horn assign alarm.
Yeah, but we got the earpiece,
Oh yeah, you got.
so
Yes, you
we
do.
can tell
Boom.
them.
Problem solved. Easy clap. Unless Gloob's like, I'm gonna unattune to that fucking earpiece and put on his boots. I'd respect it. You sometimes you gotta make sacrifices for the swag.
You gonna let me
The drip.
Oh wait, yeah, that the boots aren't a fucking attunement piece. That's only one piece of the puzzle. Fuck.
Yeah, because cloak. I was thinking cloak of elvenkind is attunement. The boots are not.
Boots aren't. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I would have to get rid of
You'd
the
have to-
earpiece.
Yeah, you'd have to unattune from something. Combat wise, you don't really need the earpiece. So that could be. It could be something where you'd make that choice on an hour-to-hour basis. It only takes an hour to attune to something. So you could. It's something you could swap on relatively short notice, but not like crazy short notice.
I had to make sure that the earpiece said that it was on the same plane, but it's within 1 mile. Because I was just gonna fucking sink Lamel when they. Yeah. Go.
Sending can be cast.
Hey
between
Julian, I
planes.
need you to talk to someone for me.
I will say, sending can be cast between planes. There's just a chance it doesn't make it.
Julian looks over at him, says, 2,800 for the bow.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage. He's just sitting there smiling, just kind of. He hasn't really stopped smiling since you guys got in here, and it is kind of creepy on his like very gaunt face. He looks kind of like he probably should be dead, but
So, not trained, but I rolled decently and I got a good charisma. That'll be a 19.
Hell yeah, dude.
No.
Does he? I didn't expect 2,800. Does he haggle it back down from 3,000?
No.
We gonna go back and
he
forth
just,
here?
he doesn't. He just
Damn.
says no, and then just keeps like. Unless, of course, you have something to trade. Something
Julian pats his
interesting,
pockets down.
perhaps. I like interesting things.
I mean, we got some magic items we might be able to trade a little bit if we didn't need them.
He just kind of spreads his hand, like he's kind of moved back to where he's behind his like counter area, and just kind of spreads his hand across the counter in front of him.
Julian is obviously not going to give up any of his trophies, so.
I mean, you just got this like coin. You haven't really used it at all yet. I mean, you could just give him that.
I scared a bunch of peasants with it.
True.
Yeah,
Christ.
you've terrified random civilians with the coin. That's kind of what you've used it for so far. That's pretty fucked up.
That
I don't need this
Action.
ancestor.
Yeah, who needs that?
action to cast makes it not a great combat utility item. We
It's
haven't had a lot of
30
non-combat
foot
utility options.
AOE. That can fear a lot of shit. There's no way I'm not making that an action. Okay, like fuck off. Fear the
So-
cone is an action.
So, DM,
Yes, sir.
Pearl of Power is attunement,
Correct.
but it also doesn't work after you use it for the day. Because you, in theory, just be like, short rest,
Unattuned. Sure. Raw,
and get your spell back, and then pop that bitch off.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, that requires you have the hour. So, are you
Oh,
attuned
yeah,
to 3
for
things
sure.
right now?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I was like, are your attunements not even filled up?
But if Gloob gets rid of that earpiece,
So this is
Julian kinda-
decisions to make.
Looks over at Bart. What do y'all want to spot me about 41 gold?
yeah, sure, I got you. That's fine.
Like, empty my pockets for this bow. I'll take it all.
Here you go. Here's 41 right there, son.
So are you setting the bow aside?
Yep.
Okay.
Julian starts counting out all
1,
2,969 gold.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So you're sitting there, you're counting. So far we have Horn of Silent Alarm, the lock, the orb, dust, bow, pearl of power.
I'll go ahead and buy the dust. That's 100 gold a packet
Yep,
each, so 300 gold total. I'll go ahead.
Sure.
And I will buy the horn, the lock, and the compass.
Okay. It's an orb, not a compass. We don't got magnets.
Aren't all compass.
We don't have magnets here. We have magical things instead. God.
Fantasyland doesn't have magnets.
Yeah,
except I
that's
think you literally
stupid.
can buy magnets.
Shut the fuck up.
What is the compass called?
Orb of
Not
knowledge.
compass. I'm sorry, lock.
Oh, the lock is lock of oh no, not lock of thievery. What the fuck is I have it written down here? Lock of trickery, because it basically it like magically subverts people's efforts to unlock things. It's also a common magic item, but useful in a place where you think you might get stolen from.
I understand you make magic items and stuff here too, right?
I do, yes.
You make a lot of stuff, like kind of frequently, or just sort of along and along when you got some free time?
Well, it depends on how much somebody would like to pay.
Oh, so you take like requests and things then?
Yes, and if it interests me enough.
So you would remember if someone asked you to make like a magical kind of like far seeing sort of spell?
Something for scrying. Is that what you
Right. You got it.
That is more common. But he's kind of like eyes kind of looking around like he's thinking, perhaps if you had something more specific.
Luke like opens the bag of holding. Should we just?
I have it on my person.
Oh, then I need to remove it from the bag.
I think they handed it back to me when we were meeting with the folks.
I think I just said they handed it back to somebody and
Oh,
nobody
okay.
immediately spoke up, so I think somebody just marked it down. I don't recall who.
It is no longer in my inventory, so
So it's
that
in
is
your,
on you.
your inventory part.
Okay. I'll pull out the scrying stick. Maybe you remember making this fella right here.
Just kind of holds out a hand.
I'll hand it over to him. Fuck!
Snaps.
That would suck.
Damn,
Oh,
you said
man.
we wouldn't need Telspire.
We won't. Take that as you will. But he takes it and he just kind of like looking it over. Oh yes, this is one of mine. Just kind of starts tapping it in one palm.
Well, do you maybe remember when you made this one?
Probably within the last few years would be my guess.
Could you, by any chance, be more specific if you had a little bit of time to inspect it a little bit?
He just kind of looks up from you. Why do you wish to know?
Well, I mean, it's involved with some murders and stuff, to put things short.
That is a frequent occurrence in these parts. But it's unbroken. Did you steal it?
Technically, yeah.
Not very useful to you all then, I suppose.
Well, it's got its uses. Had some instructions with it. It's a long story.
Yes.
Before we go further with this conversation, can we do? I don't have the words of that thing written down. I thought I did, but the letter said that Ward would meet you there, right?
No.
Okay.
It had like
contact.
Ward's assurances that it would like keep.
Ward's
basically.
assurances that it would do that. Okay. All right.
Basically,
Okay.
like they had gone. This is gonna work the way you said it would, and he went, yes.
Gotcha. He said it exactly like that.
Probably.
Okay.
Odds are good. At this point, you figure this is a pretty like normal
Dude.
state of being for him.
What if this guy just changes personalities every time we come into the shop? It'd be so
He's
sick.
just- y'all come in the next time, and he's just like laid back, like, well, hello. So good to see all of you again. No, he's nuts.
So he said it made it a few
Probably
years
within the
ago.
last few years, so somewhere within like 3 years, sometime within the last 3 years or so, probably.
You remember who you made it for?
Not immediately, no. I mean, I could think about it for a while if you like.
Can I make an insight check on?
Sure, yeah, roll an insight
I
check.
would also like to make an insight check.
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
17 plus things.
8.
8.
25.
Gloob, this guy, like, not only is he a human and you have a hard time with humans, this guy is really fucking weird. And he's like, you said so for a total of, what was that, Bart?
25.
25? He seems pretty reasonably sure, like, he doesn't seem to, like, he does seem puzzled. Like I said, he's sitting there kind of, like, tapping it in the palm of his hand and kind of, like, running a thumb along the runes. He's like, I can't remember at this time, but, well, if I could...
Julian realizes he can't use the bow.
Why?
Attunement slots.
Uh-huh.
He's already got 3, and not any of them are things he can easily, comfortably get rid of.
They aren't?
Braces of Archery
Uh-huh.
gives him more consistent damage. Spy's Murmur, and Coin of the Depths.
It's a decision. So, I mean, you don't have to buy it. It's there. So, ball's still in
Wait.
your court. So, do what you want. So, but perhaps if I knew the destination of where the scry was pointed to, it may help my ability to decipher who I created it for in the first place.
Well, that's, I mean, kind of one of the things we were wanting to sort of figure out, unfortunately.
Hence why you haven't used
Snap.
it yet, I assume.
Right.
Yes.
That's
yes,
right.
Of course. With a little bit of time, I could probably pick apart the enchantment without damaging it to determine the magical
Alright.
signature and where it's pointing to.
You feel pretty certain you can do that? No, without breaking it? I mean,
Yeah.
you made it. I assume so. All right.
Smiling. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any more of them?
No.
Well, how much did it cost to get one of those made?
To make one? He just kind of looks at it and just kind of thinks. I imagine I could make one for 100 or so gold pieces for a one-time casting of scry at a specific location.
But it is at a pre-made location.
Yes.
With- All right. Well,
Little
that might
hard.
be something we might be interested in the future, but not right now. We gotta.
If you want a more permanent capability to scry at will, I could either acquire or create such a device, probably, but for a much heftier price.
Right, yeah. I understand.
You don't recall anything about the person that asked about this, that had you make this? Nothing? What they looked like?
No.
Oh, I mean, if he can find the location, it might jog his memory a little bit. It's not too big of a deal.
That is the assumption, yes. If these are people that are trying to avoid you, they may have made a point in not making a splash.
Right.
Of course, I will not do this service for free.
All right. How much you thinking?
A modest fee of about 75 gold pieces. As
Sure,
I
we
will
can do
picking
that.
apart the enchantment without breaking it, as you requested.
Okay. Does that seem fair to everyone?
And how much
How
to
long?
do that without telling whoever had that commissioned in the first place?
No extra charge if you make a bulk purchase today.
Oh, hey, we did get something for a bulk purchase. Seems like a bargain to me. See, I mean, you're gonna get this pearl and them 5 potions. I got those. And you're getting that horn, and you already got the bottle, and you're getting those powders. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good day for you.
And if you're around tomorrow and things work out, I should be getting that armor.
Very well.
Well, another issue is that we're not going to be in town for very long. How long do you think it would take you to suss out this location?
6 months.
I could probably have this figured out by sometime tomorrow, I imagine.
Okay, we're going to be leaving tomorrow, so we got about a day, probably before lunch tomorrow or something like that.
Well, then let's hope that I'm finished by then.
Do you have? I mean, do you have the capability of sending a message to somebody potentially?
We got stones right there.
Yes, I have the potential to send messages over distances.
What else can you do? Can you maybe do a disintegrate or a wall of force or maybe like a power word kill? What else can you do, buddy?
There's some other spells that might be on a list that you.
Like
You
on
may-
a level 1 to 9, what do you think you could do?
I'm just going to say some keywords, and you just tell me if they're in your wheelhouse or not. Patron, deity, spellbook.
Do you have? And I'm willing to pay for this information, of course. I know you're a businessman. There's other people
Forehand?
that we work with that require payment for said information. Do you work with any death cults?
He just kind of squints his eyes. I don't think so, no.
All right, look at that free information.
Not the last time I checked, anyway. Not many of the religious sort here, no not.
Is that a self-given nickname?
What?
Right, I noticed you got the marks and stuff. I mean, if that's a sore topic, we don't got to bring it up or anything. Kind of seemed like they
gesturing
went
at
with the
him, I
name.
assume? Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh, he just
markings
kind of holds
and-
up his hands and the sleeves kind of fall down a little bit where you see those, like I said, the chafing scars around his wrists. Oh, no, these are from long before I arrived at Ulsan. Some think it is funny because of the way I practice my magic. The way I execute on things.
Oh, you execute on things.
Yes, my magic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious now. What way do you execute on things? Or do you mean you literally execute people?
Well, and he just kind of reaches down with both hands. And at this point, he looks kind of nicely dressed, just kind of rumpled and maybe a little battered. Like he probably doesn't attend to himself super well. But there are a couple of he's got metal on his belt. And as he puts his both hands down towards them, a couple of them are actually like small blades, and he slices his thumbs on both of them. And one second.
Pulls up spell list.
Fireball, fireball, fireball.
But and you look like you have something quite magical. Come here, gesturing at you, Jakob. Your sword, lay it down for me, please. As he smears a circle of blood on his counter with one thumb. He takes it,
Puts
lays
down
it across,
sword.
and
Okay.
then starts to draw his other thumb through the air in a series of lines. And as he does, the blood just sticks in the air as he seems to be drawing arcane runes and things in the air. And then it glows intensely and brightly before consuming the blood both on the table as well as on the runes in the air. He just looks at it. Oh, an interesting blade that you carry. It's granting you the capability to fire lines of frigidly cold water from the blade itself. The like, yes.
I don't think that's what it does. Is that what it does?
Oh yeah, yeah, it does that.
Yes. But as you see, I use my own blood as a catalyst. Therefore the name. I got tired of scrubbing it off, so it's there.
Sounds quite
Well,
painful.
You know, I'm a cook, and they say you're supposed to put a little bit of yourself in everything you make, and so, I mean, why not with magic, too?
Kind of shrug.
What?
When magical foci and the like are in demand in your position, you make do with what you have.
All right.
Looks
Well,
like you're not bleeding into the food, are you?
not on purpose.
Wait a minute. What do you think makes it taste so good?
When Bart says blood, sweat, and tears, he means it.
I mean, sometimes you get to chopping them tomatoes, you get going a little bit too fast, and well, not going to waste a perfectly good tomato. Not when I taste so sweet. Anyway, well, I guess we all got things to do.
Did he say where the chafing came from? He just said
they
many
came
years
from a
ago,
long
right?
time ago, yeah. Said from before he came to Holzarth, because you guys were asking about them in relation to the name. So, will you be buying?
Yeah,
Guys,
absolutely.
for all of you?
I'll go ahead and... Are you getting the bow, Julian?
Still narrowing his eyes at it, and
He's just...
Decisions are hard, man.
yeah.
I will say, man, if you had 8 levels of anything, you could have taken a feat this last level that gave you an additional attunement slot. It was an option.
Crazy.
Fuck it. And he just slides the stacks of 100 gold coins forward and looks away from it. I could retire on that much money when we're done.
Well, I remember how much money I had, so it's a lot easier counting down than up. So, Bart will Bart will put all of his money on the table, just dump it out.
Okay, So, final list of what we're going through. Horn of Silent Alarm. Well, who all is buying what? Julian is buying the Bow of Mind Thievery, which is 3,000 gold, which I think is maxing him out.
He had 2,969 gold. He got 41 gold from
So you have 10 gold
Bart.
left.
No, I have no gold left.
41 gold.
You
41 plus
math, it's
69 is
31
110.
gold.
Was it 59 gold? Oh, yeah. So he only borrowed 31 gold from Bart.
You have 10 more gold than you had previously, Bart. So you're zeroed out. You maxed out your credit card. No,
I'll give you
nothing
10 gold in case, you meet a nice looking pirate or something.
Assuming all pirates are prostitutes? Is that what's going on here? Like,
Never
I'm assuming
mind.
Julian would use a prostitute?
Never mind. You're a married man. I'll take back 5.
I was gonna say,
I'll
I'll
take
cut
that.
your willy off.
I
and
mean,
cheat on your wife.
if he needs, like, maybe he needs, like, bus fare or something. You don't know. Under dock boat fare. As
Sure.
the case rolls are.
And I'm buying.
Swim at that. Actually, we've covered why Julian wouldn't just swim in that water. Oh God, that cracks me up. So
I'm
300
buying
gold,
the
what about
horn, lock, and compass.
Orb of Direction, you bitch. So
know.
that's only 200 gold. Yeah.
I will pick it up immediately, and then, like a little kid, try to find north, just spinning around.
You use an action and it just goes. And what it does is it just kind of like I said, is like a misting cloud in there, and it just kind of forms into a fucking like triangle that's like slightly pointed in one direction. Like, yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't
We're
understand how.
We're not getting the sending stones, right? No one got the sending stones. Okay. Just
Okay.
making sure.
He's getting the sending stones. So those are the things. So
Ooh,
Yaku spent
I-
200 gold pieces. Yes.
sending stones aren't attunement, are they?
No, they're not.
I got the Pearl of Power and the 5 common healing potions.
So you're spending a grand total of 2,250 gold pieces.
Right. Technically 91. Well, 86 now because I gave some to Julian.
That's your total that you're at right now.
My total's 154 gold, 39 silver left after all that.
So okay.
So I'm counting to 154 and 39 silver.
So yeah, but for your purchases, you spent 2,250 gold here at the shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shove it across. Okay. Julian, you can buy anything with your 5 gold pieces. Gloob, what all are you purchasing, my boy? You're getting the 3 packets of the Dust of Corrosion.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Not right now.
That's it for now? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're only spending 300 gold right now.
I'm giving 1 potion to Jakob and 2 potions to Gloob and 2 potions to Julian.
2 common.
Yeah, 2 common.
I will ask Mr. Work, because you said it's like a fair arrangement of items, right? In the shop.
Those are the things that he showed you guys that he had for sale. It's kind of you get the idea, like you kind of get the feeling this dude also just kind of collects things that he finds interesting. Not necessarily magical. He might just have he like some of it just weird shit that maybe caught his eye, and it makes a lot more sense after you talk to him. You're like, but so a lot of the stuff in here might not strictly be actually magical.
Okay, 2 things.
Yes.
Kent, you said 2 or 1 potion?
1 potion for Jakob because those 2 will oftentimes go out and scout and get their shit in trouble, so they also can get back to me quickly if I get down.
DM, you're gonna have to add the bow to my inventory.
Like I said, I haven't created those in D&D Beyond. Just make a note that you do have that and you know what they do. So I'm negligent, but I will make them.
So that's a +1 longbow with 1d4 psychic damage.
Not a +1. Just
Oh, it's not a +1.
Yeah, it's a magical longbow, deals additional 1d4 psychic damage, and can once per day, on a hit, cast Dominate Person without concentration, DC 15.
And the second thing,
Yes.
I'm pulling out the book. I'm gonna. Do you have any other literature like this?
And this
Hands
is
it
the
to him.
smut book. To clarify, okay, just wanted to make sure. He just looks at it. He just looks at the title, and just goes, and just kind of looks up at you. And for the first time, like, there's a little bit of clarity and a little bit of judgment in this dude's eyes for the first time since you guys have walked in here.
That's hilarious.
He just, no. Slowly hands
That's a
it back
shame.
across the counter.
This man.
Oh, this is probably a good place. Well, you don't remember a whole lot of people you deal with, I guess. But maybe, have you ever heard
Pay
of
that close attention, no.
Captain Darby? Yeah, he has a nickname too. One Eye.
That's a lot more common nickname than you would think, really.
That makes sense.
No, I don't remember Darby.
I'm sure someone around here knows him.
Probably so.
Who's someone who knows a lot around here? Like a person you go to that has their ear to things.
I don't know.
You don't talk to a lot of people, do you?
he just, no, I really do not. I'm busy.
I'm sure that's
Oh.
the reason.
I heard somebody say, what's up?
If I do end up buying that full plate, obviously gestures itself. I have a set.
Yeah,
Would I be able to do some type of exchange?
just kind of looks at it. It's very plain. But amazing.
What kind of full plate does Yakov have on right
Regular
now?
ass. It's actually really dingy full plate because it's full plate you guys found in the basement of the mansion that had to be fixed up by the blacksmith. So
And has been in every battle since level 1, I think.
level 1 or 2, like he's
Yeah.
had it for a while. Yeah, not quite level 1 because you had to get it fixed up and stuff. So y'all were, it was either level 2 or level 3 by the time he was actually able to wear it.
Every fight since level 2, and it's been repaired by Jakob a few times.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
Prepared.
fixed it up when you guys were in Burl. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
He's just kind of looking at it. And he's kind of.
I'm going around looking like a crushed Coke can.
I mean, there's been a lot of repairs done to this, but with the extra layers of metal, with like here and there, you could probably fashion some sort of like moving armor or something for it if you needed someone to like carry things around your shop, or needed like a like an automated guard or something.
Once you buy the other, perhaps.
Just kind of shrug at Yakov and just give him a sort of I tried look.
Otherwise, I don't know. I'll send it to Good Armor or something.
Good
Good
armors.
armors. They give it to
It's
their
Goodwill.
armor to the needy mercenaries, the needy adventurers. They sell at a steep discount. It's very popular.
Today I learned
organization.
heroes
So-
go thrifting.
Some
Dude,
level 1
sometimes-
guys just
yeah,
gonna be
when
like,
you're
God
level 1,
damn.
yeah, when you're low level, man, you gotta do. Or if you're in any like more highly populated areas that have like a bunch of adventurers, it's a competitive market, man. You're not making a ton of money. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Adventurers make do. All right. Just fucking big facts. Like, don't at me.
Don't at me. at the end of the day, technically speaking, this pearl of power, even if I am attuned, if I end up having to attune to one of those earrings or something like that, at the end of the day, that it will at least get us one more sending. So it'll at least be
If you
half
spend an
of
hour to unattune
Yeah.
from that and reattune to this, you could then use the Pearl of Power and cast another sending. Because what levels is it that it'll give you? Third and below?
up to third.
Up to
Yeah.
third, it'll give you one. It's pretty good. It's a powerful magic item.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's
It's
also
that-
like if you just wanted to keep it in your back pocket for
Fireball,
Revivify.
the way you can't cast Fireball.
Well, I don't think I'd want to have it in my back pocket for Revivify. Because if I had to reattune to it,
That'd be one of those. Yeah,
You've
you
expired.
Have it.
You expired.
That's just, it's like the Dark Souls thing. You've expired.
All right.
That's what I'm telling people from now on. You've expired.
I'm sorry, they've expired.
They've expired. Jesus Christ. So, everybody finalized. Everybody sure of their purchases. Everybody feeling good about it.
Gold's already gone.
Cody's fucking peeved about attunement on that goddamn base.
Stewing.
Before we or right as everybody's leaving, we'll kind of hang back and say before Hull's Hearth, where did these come from?
So, as you guys have kind of started to walk away, you see he's kind of like seemed to have snapped his fingers and like a mostly kind of translucent, like kind of shimmery like chest has appeared in the air, and he's just shoveling the gold into it. He's going, I'm sorry, what?
You see Julian like stopping.
he hasn't stopped smiling the entire time you guys have been in there. But I'm sorry, what was that?
These, where did these come from?
You point out like the chafing scar. Oh. Just kind of rubbing one wrist. There were those that wanted the benefits of magical ability without having to learn themselves.
So they kept you around.
Myself among them, yes. For a time.
What'd you end up doing? How'd you escape?
Roll perception check.
Bro, that's cocked on D&D Beyond, but it's going to count the result. Get out of here. 7.
Is that with your D4?
Yep.
Just kind of looks at you for a second. Did what I had to.
Has anyone ever tried to do it they had to for those that are in the center of the island?
What do you mean?
Just making small talk. I'll walk out.
Yeah, I will just say. And I hope they got what they deserved. Okay.
Exit back out into the busy nightlife of Hull's Hearth.
Well, Jacob, I'm impressed. You managed to make a man who lives in a town full of pirates look at you like you're the biggest degenerate he's seen all day.
Look, it says that the author was making a second one of these. I just want this. I just want the next one.
For the plot.
I gotta know. I gotta know about Handsome Man. What happens to him?
A handsome man?
Yeah, his name's Han. Some man.
Oh. Yeah, that tracks. I imagine he's probably gonna have sex with something or someone.
Oh yeah, I mean he has a lot of that, but it's the story.
Yep.
Fucking Jakob is a housewife as far as his reading choices go.
Hey man.
I just imagine they're gonna like. So what did your wife do for a living? Oh yeah, she was a blacksmith. Like, oh okay.
Stop trying to get on the desk.
Anyway,
Back to the
Sea Dog's Respite.
huh?
Sea Dog's Respite.
Sea Dog's Respite.
Sea
You're right,
Dog's
guys.
Respite. Yeah. Well, I mean, want to head back there? We can try and savor the local cuisine.
Now that
I'm-
I'm back outside, I gotta change back to the things are a little more.
I'm okay to stay up for a little bit.
I imagine probably wherever we're going to be sleeping probably ain't the best amenities. So,
We can just explore.
That is why I got this locked. Hopefully there's something that we can kind of lock something shut. Keep people out.
I mean, did you ask him how that works? Like how you affix it to something? You got to use screws? I mean, can you just pry it right off?
Opens lock.
Is it just like a padlock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what it's described as in the
Okay,
description.
gotcha. I thought it was like an actual lock. Like a lock. Okay, cool.
No, yeah, no, this is not like a door lock. This is supposed to be like you put on a chest or something.
Okay. Oh, yeah, hopefully it works good. I don't know where the hell we go in here, so
I'm gonna explore a little bit.
all right. Let's make. I mean, we can get by faster if you give me a few minutes.
Okay.
I was kind of
Need to like go to the bathroom or something?
no. I mean, well, maybe, but
Ladder.
you know, I gotta go more frequently. And so, just hold on. I'll just start casting ritually walk on water or water walk or whatever it is called in 5th edition.
It's water walk, yeah.
Water walk. Yeah. And then cast it on us.
It's like
And-
up to 10 people, right?
Yeah, yeah, and just a few random nearby people.
That's perfect.
The thing is, it is entirely possible they won't know. It's also entirely possible they will find out in a very unpleasant manner.
Eat it off the side and just
Somebody just dives off the edge. Just oh no.
That'd be a bad look.
Kill a
I mean,
couple
based on what you
people.
told us about this water, it won't be that big of a difference. The way you're describing it was already going to be Julian goes to dive into the water and like sinks down to his hips and just sticks.
Ugh. I'm
It's
gonna
like
say,
the
y'all
Dead
came to those
Sea.
conclusions on your own. So I did.
Based on your description, of course.
Logically speaking, it makes sense. Y'all are still nasty.
Ward's got a great filtration system under
I
this
mean-
place.
All right, I'd say make sure to keep your eyes up. You don't want anyone peeing on us, because I've seen a few people just peeing right off into the water. So
Yep. Peeing, vomiting. Yeah.
like,
Oh.
Breela's got good reflexes. She won't let nothing get at me.
Oh, I kinda forgot you Breel with
Yeah.
you that whole
Yeah.
time. Ward
Yeah.
just fucking ignored her ass. He was like magical creature, what the fuck ever. Like he looked at her and was like, ah, who cares?
Also, Glamel.
Second level spell.
Oh yeah, fucking Glamel. Oh yeah, you've been hauling Glamel around with you?
I have nowhere. I'm not gonna leave him alone.
That's true. Hold
Glomel can just hang out. He's just sitting on Brila's tail.
Yeah, Glomel's been like glued right behind. Glomel's been glued right behind Gloob for the most part.
Glamel left alone sounds like a recipe for disaster in this place.
Glomel, you didn't steal nothing from that store, did you? That's not going to be very funny if you stole anything from that store.
Unless it was something really good and you got away with it.
He does not understand anything you say, Bart. He's just kind of looking at you like.
Did you steal anything from in there?
He just looks at you, looks at you.
Okay.
He was scary.
I agree.
Glomel can sense someone's power level.
I think he was getting the energy of just
Right.
nuts from him, and then you like
Energy of nuts.
it was kind of like reading the room off of you guys. It was like,
Oh, let's not word it that way.
the nut
Anyways,
energy.
They walked into this place. This guy acted really fucking crazy, and they gave him thousands of gold and then left.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that guy.
Once we get water walk going on, I'm gonna like look for the center of nightlife and fun around here. Like, what are pirates doing?
Like y'all saw last time y'all were here. There's a lot of drinking. There's like singing. There's fist fights. There are sword fights. There's general carousing. There's people that are like dancing, like fucking throwing each other around, like in almost kind of like a square dance fashion, like out in front of places where people are playing like not very good but very loud music. Like, seems to be the general vibe. There's a lot of just partying like there's no tomorrow. Like, people are just fucking off, at least in these areas where you guys are right this moment.
I had a quick question.
Yes, sir.
And it'd be fine if I would have to go back and check because I'll do it later. When you look into Ward's eyes, does it look familiar? And when I say familiar, I'm talking about, does he have the same type of look that Jakob has?
Roll an insight check for me. 2.
3. Sorry.
3.
I lost one.
You're not really sure. It's kind of hard to meet his eyes because he doesn't maintain eye contact for very long, if at all. A lot of very fidgety, darty eye movement. A lot of times he was speaking to somebody and wasn't making eye contact at all. He'd be like looking at like the top of their forehead or like at their belt or something while he was speaking. Very erratic individual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, my camera's like having a super hard time focusing on me right now.
Yeah.
And I can't.
It's like Ward.
I can't adjust it on purpose because it's using the virtual camera. I gotta scoot around and stuff and try to force it to look at me! But so, yeah, you guys have water walk on you. There's various and sundry nightlife going on. Lot going on, you figure. At first glance, you visited a magic shop at almost midnight and did business for some fucking reason.
He's like, yeah, you'd be able to get that stuff for half the price if you just would have went within normal hours.
I want to look for the richer, more established areas where captains would hang out.
Okay. So you do know that it seems, I'm just like kind of, as you're kind of looking, it looks like just after traveling like a little bit, it seems to be things get a little nicer the closer you get to the island. Like some of the stuff you guys first saw as you were coming in, while you still had a little bit of height advantage from being on the boat. was that there were like actual buildings erected on the island itself, and Artois had told you that's kind of on the island itself and kind of branching out from where each estate is branching out each of the like districts of Hull's Hearth, and each one of those estates is of one of the princes. So clearly, that's where it's the most rich. You also know that the island itself is where the fighting pits are located. So it does seem to kind of get richer as you get in there. You figure probably a lot of people might not necessarily have a place here, since as they are very in and out a lot.
Right.
So probably not a ton of people actually have like permanent residence, especially those who would have like the most money aside from the princes. But it does seem to get in kind of like, you know, in cities where as you build farther, like newer areas tend to be a little poorer. Seems to be kind of the thing is like as they built farther out, it's gotten more kind of rickety and things, and as you're closer into the shallows, into land itself, able to build a little more stably, a little like fewer gaps in the planking and stuff like that.
Yeah, if no one says anything, that's where Glue starts to head further in.
Farther inland, okay?
Yep. And I will be following signs of life and what have you.
Literally everywhere.
I don't know if that sort of same ruckus continues, like, the further in we go,
You've got a ways to go probably before you're out of it.
Okay.
Like I said, these docks and things seem to go out pretty far. You figure, rough math, they at least double the size of the island just across the board. Probably a little more than that.
Gotcha.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Captain Leishian's estate, or Breakbow. Anybody with the name, like shouting the name Breakbow by chance? I'm looking for people.
Alright. You're just kind of yelling out names.
I know, I'm not. I'm listening for people like talking about their prince or whatever the case is, or this is like, if you want me to make like a persuasion check of just talking to people as we go along, like where are we, or who's your prince, or something like that.
I'll say it depends. I'll say if you're like, depending on the method, are you just if you're trying to listen, if you're will be perception, if you're just trying to search on your own and be an investigation, if you're trying to ask people questions and be a persuasion check.
While I would be better at listening in, I am going to talk to people.
Okay, you can just kind of ask around. All right.
Yep.
Okay. What kind of questions exactly are you asking?
All right. I already rolled my d20. I'll be asking like, who's your prince? Where are we in this district, or whose district is this? As we're like making our way, I guess, around the island or further in and stuff like that, as we're separating out. And I guess just like also like general rumors.
Okay.
Like, what are some rumors around the like big rumors around the island recently?
Okay. And what was your roll?
Do I still get to add my d4?
Yeah. Oh, in the middle of the fucking ocean. Sure.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very nice. So, easy ones first. District you're in. If you're just kind of beelining straight to just kind of getting closer to the center, like to the island proper, you're still in Pale Flowers District. Yeah. I know you said rumors, and what else for me one more time?
Rumors, who's your captain, like that sort of thing. If we stay in the Pale Flower, like we know who that is, and we don't need to talk to them. Right? That's Artois' prince.
You know that's Artois' prince.
And we don't know her name.
Yeah, you do not know her name.
Shit, we don't know any of the fucking princes' names. No. We just know their hounds.
Yeah, you know their enforcers, basically. You know their representatives. So, and at the very least, it looks like the districts are kind of referred to by their epithet, like kind of what their name is. Which I would allow you to amend if you're wanting to ask questions about the Pale Flower. If you want to gather some information, you can if you like to kind of roll that in there. 'Cause, yeah, you know their enforcers, basically. You know their representatives. So, and at the very least, it looks like the districts are kind of referred to by their epithet, like kind of what their name is. Which if I would allow you to amend if you're wanting to ask questions about the Pale Flower. If you want to gather some information, I would like you can if you like to kind of roll that in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to know more about Artois' prince, but also princes in general. Like, if we get to a stale point in this district, Blue would keep walking, and I don't know how long his friends are going to follow.
Okay.
I would keep an ear out for anybody talking about Farenzol if he is in Polesart.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
16? Let me double check. Yeah, 16.
While you ruminate on that a little bit, um, Gloob, in terms of like listening to people, captains, you do hear like a lot of names kind of getting thrown around. None that particularly jump out at you at this time. Like you're listening for like Breakbow and Farenzol and Calibran's
Li
Boots
Xian.
and Li Xian, and I guess just if anybody happens to say anything interesting about Artois, I'm sure that would catch your ear. Nobody really saying anything about any of them at this time, or like nobody seems to be. They all seem to be just kind of doing things among themselves. It doesn't seem like any of these individuals belong that you're hearing at this time belong or kind of chatting to seem to belong to any of those guys. Like kind of out in essence, like I said, this is a pretty crowded place, and there's a lot of boats parked kind of out and around here. So there's probably a pretty wide array outside of them. So they might have crew mixed in here somewhere, just not where you're at right now.
Gotcha.
As for rumors, probably all kinds of rumors. Like some captain is kind of like has heard tale of some long lost treasure out deep within the ocean and things, or like a beast of immense size that has a treasure hoard that could put somebody's name down in history. A lot of things like that. A lot of people with their various subjects, like that's what these guys do. They look for treasure. They've got probably they've heard hearing about a merchant that is planning like they're like, hey, we know about this merchant like trail. I'm blanking on what it's called in the ocean, but that they're probably going to be hitting when they ship out next. And just a couple here and there of people of mutterings of the Keelan's Navy. It seems to have been getting a little more aggressive recently. That does seem to be not like super all over the place, but it does seem like that kind of talk is starting to filter through.
Gotcha.
And most of that is accompanied by a lot of like grumbling and like, oh, fuck them. What the fuck are they gonna do? We'll just sink them. And that's probably where you do hear some of the princes, not the princes, but some of the princes' captains' names dropped. Like, especially here in Pale Flowers District, probably mostly Artois. Like, Artois will sink them. Who gives a shit?
Right.
They can't touch us. Things of that nature.
Gotcha.
So, starting to leak through, not being taken super seriously, it doesn't seem like, by the common pirate. And Jakob, you're listening for just word of Farenzol being on the island itself right now?
Mm-hmm.
Not at this time. You don't hear you don't hear anything confirming or denying.
Okay.
So, and Gloob is just kind of beelining further inland and further inland. Are you guys just following him, and what's everybody else doing?
That stream of water that came out of the decanter of endless water, how like steady of a stream was it?
Whatever the item says, because it's a straight up decanter of endless water.
I have 3 options.
Yeah. So list them.
I have Stream, which produces 1 gallon, Fountain, which produces 5, and a Geyser, which produces 30. And also, if I aim it at somebody, they have to make a DC 13 strength saving throw, or be knocked prone and take 1d4 damage.
And if I believe each of those options is over a period of 6 seconds. is over 1 round. So heavier and like much more of a like up to that last one was like getting shot with a fucking like fire hose, like in intensity, just over 6 seconds.
Hey, Gloob, you reckon you could, you got the balance to ride that water if he shoots it out of that bottle?
To ride the water?
Right, you can walk on water, and it's shooting out water. So if he shoots it out at a sideways angle, I don't know, it sounds like some dumb shit I do as a kid.
I have no clue. Be willing to try.
I'd probably break a leg if I tried. But, I mean, you're probably the most nimble person I know.
Is it only once a day, Jakob? Can you only do that once a day?
Oh, let's find out. Stream. Stream.
You have the item.
It doesn't say.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
it
just
doesn't
keep
say.
doing it. If it doesn't specify, you just keep doing it. It's just,
I mean, it is endless water, so I assume.
it just keeps going.
Yeah, you know.
Are we still in a relatively crowded area? Bunch of people around still?
For the most part, it feels like it'll probably like crowds do seem to like lessen a little bit as you get a little further in. But seems like probably for the most part there's going to be quite a few people until you get onto the island itself. Probably until you get into the actively pretty private estates of the princes.
All right, Jakob, hold it away from you and shoot it straight up.
Okay.
Well,
On
I mean,
3.
straight up sounds
One,
like
couple steps
shoot.
back.
3. And I'm gonna try to on
Kinda-
3. I'm gonna jump above the decanter and just try to stand on top of the stream as it shoots me into the air.
Roll an acrobatics check, I guess.
Gladly.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Bart's like,
Natural
angle,
20
angle.
for a 31.
All right. So you just
I hate
right as
everything
it
about
shoots
this.
up, just landing on one foot as it goes. Is this what you're using the biggest option, the 30 gallons?
Oh, shit.
So you go high. I
Hell
figure.
yeah.
As just kind of all around you go. Yeah! People are like, woo! The people clap and
Yeah.
they're like, that's awesome.
Quietly to himself, Julian's just like, don't encourage this. Looking around at the pirates.
Who will take his hat off and bow as the geyser settles down.
Yeah, and it does well. And settles is a strong word. It just stops. And so, but natural 20, I'll say you just kind of as you're bowing is when it goes. You just kind of let yourself fall for like half a second before kind of flourishing and doing another flip as you kind of tuck and hit the ground and come up standing. And just hear tomorrow. Yeah, looks like a couple dudes who were just like hitting each other. Like one guy's got another by the front of his shirt and a fist pulled back to just lay into him again. They're both like, and then let go and just kind of like slap each other on the sides. Seem to have totally forgotten why they were brawling in the first place. Very impressive. Somebody just kind of like shoves a bottle in your face and is like, yeah, this is real good. You want a drink?
Yeah. Who turns up the bottle?
It's strong. That's like it's like Everclear. Like
Blue's not used to drinking. Blue has been drunk once.
it was not a good time either, if I recall correctly. But as you guys make your way further inland, we're gonna go ahead and take a break here real quick.
Oh, shit.
So,
Is that
yes,
time?
9 o'clock already. We'll be right back and take a quick bite. Everybody stand up, stretch your legs, touch your toes, refresh your drink, all that fun stuff. Encourage you to do the same. But be right back because we will be here shortly for more D&D.
Yeah.
See you in a minute. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
So,
Hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody. Oh, I'm so glad we because of the way the OBS captures Skype. Julian's still here for everybody else. So everybody's aware, Julian did unfortunately had to step away for the rest of tonight's session. Had to take care of some IRL stuff. It do be like that sometimes. So we're just gonna kind of take care of individual business until we either hit our regular closing time, or we hit our regular time, or until we run out of that stuff to do, so that we don't do party shit with a party member missing. Fucking Gloob is.
You say closing time, and the song started playing in my head.
Anyway.
And I don't want to get DMCA'd, so I didn't sing it out loud.
That's fair. Appreciate it. Appreciate it for all of us here. But, yeah! Brief recap. I almost just said let's get back into it. Our party, at the beginning of the session, found themselves in Bloody Ward's Arcane Oddities, who is a pirate merchant of magical goods. A merchant of magical goods on a pirate island, who both makes and sells and buys magical things, and probably some other just weird shit that catches his fancy, it seems like. Very interesting fellow. Maybe a bit off his rocker. They bought some things from them. A magical bow on Julian's part. Some dust that melts metals and woods for unknown reasons for Gloob. A pearl of power for Bart, as well as some health potions, because not dying is cool. And our boy Jakob buying basically some knickknacks of varying degrees of usefulness, with a horn of silent alarm, a lock of trickery, and then a orb of direction, or the compass, as he's going to continue to call it evidently. Magical in nature, of course, with the potential of returning to buy some magically enchanted full plate. They then exited and decided, or I say decided, Gloom decided he was going to keep looking around. He was going to head in, find maybe some folks that he was wanting to find, maybe some of these captains, maybe Captain Li Xian, maybe hearing some stuff of the goings on. And as we're going to rejoin our fellows, they heard some things, a lot of it not particularly useful, but a lot nonetheless. As you guys are slowly but surely making your way farther and farther in, are there any particular areas that you're attempting to approach, or any particular areas that you're looking for, Gloob, as you are leading this current exploration?
Well, I've got a lot of no information to go off of, so Blue will suddenly and quickly turn around to his friends like, all right, well, let's go back to the Sea Dog's Respite, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if you're done looking around, sure, why not?
Yeah, not a whole lot going on tonight, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Keep on heading. Maybe we should take a second to hop back up on right here. I mean, we've been walking around for a while. I don't want us to fall in that water. Just re-up the water walking.
Just looks down. Yeah. Don't want that.
Till y'all go and ritually request water walking.
Y'all probably getting really weird looks from people that are like rowing boats and stuff underneath here. They're just kind of like. Right, a few people go, how you do that? And the like.
Faith!
Right stories.
You can
about
do
me.
it too. Come on.
Roll perception check.
I was just thinking that guy can do it. I let him in on it. He really can.
Unless you've recast it with an instant cast.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like
No.
re-upping it. Okay.
No. I mean, you may be in the process, but at the moment, no.
Okay. Well, I'll say with faith as I'm recasting it.
What's
18.
18. I'll let him try. Just looks at you for a second and just kind of. I'm fucking.
You missed.
I'm gonna fucking. I'll skin you, you piece of fucking. Lot of swearing and splashing around in the water as this dude is trying to fucking get his bearings and get out of the absolute nastiness that is this water.
I'll go help him.
What's your AC?
18.
That's a not smart man.
He is drunk and just got told that he could float on water.
Well, you can. In a minute.
Fucking punches you in the armor as you start reaching for him, but it doesn't do any damage.
Does he not hit my AC?
No. So like I said, just kind of like glancing blows off of your armor.
I'm gonna catch his fist and I say, "Are you sure that is the decision you want to make right now?"
Constitution saving throw.
And roll an intimidation check. What's your
Oh no, it's very low.
What's the save on your poison?
13 or 14.
Oh, okay, doesn't matter. It's a 10. So
Okay.
he does seem to can't quite tell as he's trying to get his like under him and get out of the just disgusting water that this is. What was your intimidation check?
That guy's like, joke's on you, I was already poisoned.
Super low. Super low. Unless I get advantage for some reason, it's super low.
Not at this time. Like, you get your D4, but that's it.
5.
more profanity and things as he is just kind of getting over to one of the like ladders or whatever that does hang down into the water. Anything as you are doing as that is occurring, just gonna stand there and wait.
No, I'd help him over to the ladder. Unless he's still, like, I'm gonna like, I again just grab him by the back of the like collar and like help him swim over to it. Keep his head and mouth out of the filth.
Is so far beyond that. He went in.
Anymore.
He doesn't need more.
He
He doesn't need more.
Just kind of look at him. Hey, you kind of smell like shit, buddy.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
I was just sitting there richly classing, trying not to start a fight. Come on.
Oh man. Just kind of gets on the ladder. Kind of gets your arm off of him. Glib kind of turn and looks at you, and you see him just look at each of you in turn, very purposefully, squinting a little
Just
bit.
raise his eyebrow.
Just a little kind of still wobbly on there. Just kind of looks at all of you. Looks at all y'all again and climbs up the ladder. Whether he'll actually remember you or not, seems like he was trying though.
He's double poisoned. Let's hope not.
He's double poison.
You guys just sit down there for
poison
some more.
all the way.
Other pirates
Right.
thought it was fucking hysterical, but you know, clearly he did not. But after 10 minutes, recast, water walk. Pack just kind of traipsing along over the
It goes on him too if he's still nearby.
what's the radius?
I don't think it's very. I think 30 feet probably at the most. Might only be 10.
Because what you're getting the party plus Brila and Glomel,
30 feet.
and
Yeah.
then just 4 other people. You'd probably have to, by the time it finishes casting, probably just grab some other people that you can just randomly see that are either in the boats nearby and around you, or maybe having to piss off the side of the docks or whatever. But you guys are just heading back to the Sea Dogs Respite. Yes. You had a big thunk. Face.
No, that's okay. I was having a really dumb thought.
Those are always fun. But I'll allow you to keep that to yourself for the moment, I suppose. But easily enough able to make it back that way, especially down, traveling underneath the docks, unhindered, and faster because you're not having to zigzag all over the place. But a little bit of having to pop up every now and then, be like, "Is this where it's at? Nope, not here. Is this where it's at? Ah, there we go." But y'all just heading in and up to your abode, your room, singular.
Indeed.
All right. So getting up there, it seems calm down is a strong word, but it looks like most people have settled into where they're gonna be for tonight anyway, at least until closing time or what passes for it around here. There's not quite as many people out and about and moving from place to place. It looks like by the time you guys make your way back to the Sea Dogs Respite, still still quite crowded there within. You see the goblin at the bar who's still kind of slinging out drinks and seems to be cracking people on the head with like a cudgel that is like hanging on a hook underneath the bar every now and then. But just heading up to your room. It's a room. It's got 2 beds in it.
You said people are hanging on a hook underneath
No,
the bar?
A cudgel that he has hanging on the
Okay.
hook. Like every now and then he'll be
Okay.
slinging out drinks and somebody will fuck around and he will instantly make them find out. Like,
I thought that you were trying to say that people are trying to monkey bar
oh, no.
underneath this thing to try and steal drinks. I'm like, what?
No, not quite that extreme. There are holes in the floorboards. Like some things do just go falling down, but but no. Like I said, just dude seems to be slinging out drinks, and somebody will just kind of like start to reach for someone else's drink, and he seems to somehow be able to keep track of whose mug was what. Like he's like of who was supposed to go to each customer, and just wham right across the fucking wrist. People, that was just regular occurrence, either on wrists, hands, heads, fingers, elbows. There's no mercy in this dojo. He goes for joints only, and it seems to be painful.
Ouch.
He goes for places that hurt. He's a goblin. He's not a big guy. He's got got a
He's
strategy.
gonna go for the
Yeah.
pressure points.
Yeah, he's hit with the exploding heart technique. But yeah, you guys make it up to your room. It seems to have a couple of not great shaped beds in it, but they are beds. Not much beyond that. Looks like there's chamber pot in there. Only the one, but it's there. So everybody
Yeah.
heading to bed. What's going on?
Yeah, I reckon I'll relax down with Breela and get some shut-eye, smoke a pipe.
You need to send any messages, Bart?
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. I'll send some messages. I'll send one to Mrs. Arosi.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? On the way to get Julian's brother. How y'all faring? That's it. Oh fuck! It's like midnight. Whoops.
After a few
Damn it,
seconds.
Gloob! You shouldn't. You shouldn't remind me it was midnight. I done woke him up. I'm sure.
After a few seconds, you hear a sleepy
Shit.
voice of Mrs. Arosi, Simone. We can't currently camped for the evening. Travel continues to go well. Glad to hear that this will be resolved soon. And that Julian is still staying safe. She can't see the fingers you're holding up, and she just woke up.
But you can.
I know.
Much love. All right. Awesome.
She doesn't love you.
That's hard.
What's up?
Could you try sending one to my wife if I don't know if you had an extra one or.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I got this whole pearl thing here I can try to use for heading to bed.
All right.
Heck yeah. I got 3 more of these babies. Let's go.
You would have to attune to it.
Yeah, I can tune to it.
I'm saying you'd have to sit around for an hour to
Mhm.
get yourself tuned to it. Okay. I can't remember. Have you guys located any likeness of Jakob's fair maiden?
Not that I did.
I don't believe so.
Nope. It's going to be
just going off of descriptions.
a risky business. Let me see. No, I don't have any reading thoughts type kinds of things. I mean, brain read.
If only Jakob could cast minor illusion
Yeah.
or something.
So
Julian
so
came
she's-
though, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Julian and
Julian
Jakob
doesn't
just
know.
sit there
They just have to,
for
they have to do this
for
illusion
hours. Like,
dance.
no, she had a little bit more junk in the trunk, and I'm taller. I mean, like 8 feet tall. All right, and broader shoulders, big hat.
Calls people man thing
just-
a lot for some reason. I couldn't quite tell you why.
I love that name.
That was my nickname for her, man thing.
Huh?
Yeah, I just ask her where she is, if she's all right. And I guess tell her about the storm made me think about her. And yeah, just I hope that she's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can roll a straight wisdom check for me.
Yep, I knew that was going to give a wisdom check.
Ooh, that's a really good roll.
I mean, how many?
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
All right. Do I need to make any spellcraft checks or anything like that, or is it just a percentage on your end now? Or whatever roll. All right.
Got it in the former or the latter.
Okay. What was your wife's name again? Yeah, I plumb forgot. I'm sorry.
It's Brandolith.
Brandolith. All right.
I will say Jakob Hilo.
High. Always high. She might be going by her family's name, Arantlet, but things didn't go so well when she left, so I doubt it.
All right. I'll just say Brandolith. Jakob sends you his love and hopes that you are doing well. He thinks about you fondly and is reminded of you constantly. I'm not going to... Yep. Just give him the thumbs up. Didn't have anything about that storm in there. He's like, yeah, that's too long.
Just kind of nervously just...
Oh, I got it sent out. I don't know if it's coming back or not.
Oh, all right. You know, I was thinking you'd said maybe I should pick up drawing.
Yeah, you should draw her. Might help me out
yeah.
some.
Yeah, I could try doing that. You know, we don't have any paper.
Nope. We surely don't.
Yeah.
None of us.
5 seconds pass. 10 seconds pass. 30 seconds pass. Minute passes. No.
Don't seem to be coming, son.
Oh, that's all right. It's late. I imagine she's asleep.
Right, yeah, that's probably what it is. Well, the not... Bart doesn't seem super convinced by that, but yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, I'll go ask the goblin downstairs if he has any paper.
All right.
Okay.
Watch out for that thing. He was fucking nailing people with that thing. He's a good shot.
Okay.
So you're stepping downstairs to talk to the bartender / owner. You're not really sure which hats that goblin wears. Seems to be the ultimate authority, but never quite confirmed.
I won't be careful about the thing, about the whatever he's hitting people with. But I will talk to him in Goblin.
Okay. You come walking up and it's like, dudes, on closer inspection, pretty buff for a goblin, but it's like slinging drinks around this way and that, collecting money. Seems like without looking, he's like scooping money off the table before anybody can think about getting their hands on it. You come up to him and what are you asking?
Nice muscles, kind of flex.
Yeah, kind of a necessity. What do you want?
You got any paper? Something drawn? I'll pay for it, of course.
This is a bar, not a fucking library.
Yeah, I mean, businesses tend to have some type of paper around. I figured it was worth a shot asking.
No. Now spend something or get the fuck out of the way.
I have a room upstairs. I've already spent money here.
Good.
Have a good night. Asshole.
What's your armor class?
Perception check. At disadvantage because it's loud as shit. Yeah, he doesn't fucking... He's busy. I mean,
A little bit louder?
Forgot
Okay.
you were there.
Ass.
Did you hear?
Yeah,
I
I'll go
called
back.
you an asshole. Yeah, you guys were talking about you thought Ward was the level 20 store owner.
Oh no.
But anyway, you just head back upstairs.
Yeah. I will, if there's any blank pages in the book that I have, I'll try to draw her in the book.
Blank pages in there somewhere, sure. Not many, but yeah, there'd be some like blank spots where you could try to sketch around.
I'll start attuning to this pearl while he's gone out and doing all this stuff.
So I'll say kind of come back not long after that and spend some time trying to sketch out your wife. That's gonna be a D20 plus your dexterity score. So,
14.
what?
14.
14. Kind of combined with the 20 you got on your wisdom check to really kind of fix the details of your wife of Brandalith's like personage, like the details of her face, like the parts that would be that set her out and that would be important for these kinds of magics for making sure they're going to the right place. All those details, which you did quite well. So pretty accurately could picture it in your head. Doesn't translate nearly as well onto paper. Like it's pretty passable, and it's definitely, like I said, it's not like you're not drawing like a stick figure or anything, but it is a clear like sketch of a person with a decent amount of detail, but a lot of the details really don't stand out all that much. Like you could definitely go, this is a woman, and she's in her dress, and sketched out like a lot of the vagaries, but the finer details really didn't seem to take.
For Jakob, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, looks just like her.
The first picture that he's seen of her in a very long time, and as you said, it's not perfect, but
No.
for Jakob it is.
Yeah,
he waits for it to dry and gently closes the book and holds it to his chest.
You just kind of look it over. You can just that you're little in that mental image. You can just, as you're looking at it, you kind of fill in the details of what's kind of missing, like color almost seeping into the picture as a quasi kind of overlaying memory on the page. And as you're doing so, right before you kind of close it up, Sin kind of floats down from over your shoulder and just kind of hand a little bit, like fingers kind of passing through that page a little bit, just kind of brushes them across the picture and just looks kind of, when like little kids kind of frown and you're not quite sure whether they're like angry or just kind of like upset or just kind of troubled, but is just not really saying anything at some moment, just kind of looks at it while you close it up and hug it. So, around that time, Bart, you get attuned to the Pearl of Power.
Hell yeah.
An extra third level slot if you so need it.
Woo. More sentence. Let me mark this spell slot off my sheet. Feels good. All right. Who else do we need to message tonight?
I want to see if Captain Darby's here.
Yep. I've read that book, so I've kind of gotten to know him a little bit, so I'll send him out a message. Captain Darby, this is Bart. Hope you're doing well, and hope this message reaches you. Like to stay in contact with a fellow pirateman. Pirateman. G'day.
G'day.
G'day. I don't know.
G'day, mate. All right. Sends on. You're actually spending the spell slot?
Yeah. I've never fate sent Darby ascending.
I just wanted to clarify, just to be sure. As you
Where-
release the magical energy, it off into the wild blue yonder. Nothing back.
Nothing tonight. Might have been sleeping.
Yeah, it's real late. Blue will start dressing down. He will remove the coat and the hat and all of his jewelry, and place all of it into. He will not remove the hunter's coat
Right, just
Or-
your fancy coat, like your decorative stuff.
and the decorative pants, and put all of that into the bag of holding. And then he will take 8 daggers and line the coat and his leathers with them.
Get yourself all kitted out. Looking
I-
like a proper rogue right now.
Bart's getting ready to just go to sleep like normal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, I'm real excited to see how your barrel turns out with all this fresh water Yakim's got. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
don't know, it feels good or however it's supposed to work. You like halfling pores and stuff like that. I mean, they don't work the same way as frog skin does.
I don't
Frog
think so.
skin.
Do you breathe
Right.
through yours?
No. Yeah.
I don't know if Yakub's already filled up the tub or not.
I mean, if frogs break
Uh,
through their skin, does
I'd fill it up.
that just doesn't do nothing?
I also take off my plate.
Stripping down the your skivvies. Maybe a little dangerous in these beds, but I mean, we all take risks.
And Bart's making sure that after they get out of walking around in that water, that all of shoes and boots and feet are prestidigitated before getting in the room. However holy and rickety the floor may or may not be, just let's not have any of that brought inside in case there's any stub toes. I don't have tetanus shots in Dungeons and Dragons.
But you've got
Whatever else you might get.
lesser restoration. Like, same thing, right?
Sure.
All right.
I am going to point at the earpiece for Glamel and take it from him. Before I do, though, we don't know when you're gonna go, but stay here for tonight, and hopefully I'll see you in the morning.
He kind of shrugs. Hope so.
Here, one second. Let me see that letter I gave you.
Kind of rummages around in all of his accoutrement, bandanas and sashes and stuff, and kind of.
We will go inside the jacket pocket again and pull out a single like silver strand, fold it into the letter, and hand it back to Glamel. Okay, should be good now.
Tucks it back into a sash, kind of wraps it up. Okay.
Take the earpiece from Glamel. I will put Mel on his stand. I will give Jakob the earpiece, and I will leave.
Just gonna walk out.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Go out. Glamel was in the process of kind of like yoinking some blankets off of one of the beds. It was kind of like making something in a corner, doing the thing he does. So you go out. You where you heading to?
To the inner island, and I will, once I am out of the Sea Dog's respite, I will Sneak as much as possible.
Go ahead.
You need to attune to that. Jakob. Okay. Oh god.
Would
Music started playing. It was chasing me.
So you guys are sneaking out of the room.
One person is snuck out.
I just walked
Yeah,
out.
he didn't even sneak out. He just walked out. He was talking to Glamel a little bit, took the earpiece off of Glamel, handed it to Jakob, and then just walked out of the room.
do I need to be wearing it to attune to it?
I would say so. Probably it's like a little earpiece. I'd say so.
You would say so?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd just pop it on.
All right. So you're sneaking your way to the inner island. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. Don't make a noise.
Woo!
Appreciate it.
Advantage or no?
You do not. Somebody make another noise. Good grief.
Hello.
I'd say you maybe have a little bit of no. Actually, if Bart was there if you were still there for the full hour that Bart took to attune, then you don't have water walking. So you're going along the like all the above the top portion of the docks. I'll say this will be a straight roll because this is you're just trying to remain unseen.
Real quick, does Jakob attempt to stealth out, or does he just walk out?
Jakob doesn't.
I would wait.
Or are you leaving as well?
I would wait to attune to the because you have to focus to attune to it, right? It's not just like you pop it on and then in an hour.
You have to sit and kind of like almost meditate on it. Like it does take focus to attune to an item, so you can't do it.
I would wait to do that. Like I would attune to the earpiece, and then after attuning to the earpiece, say to Bart that I'm just gonna go walk around for a bit.
That's a whole hour. And
yeah, so
I would also say Glue would just hand that to you and say, I'm gonna go look around for a little bit here, just in case I need something. I'm just gonna go look around.
All right.
Does the I'm just gonna go look around come with a specific look?
Yeah, I will put stress on I'm going to just look around.
Okay.
Eyes only. Hands off. Art's just gonna sit there in silence, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
I mean,
Bart says, I gotta learn.
you know, Frog's gonna have a good time, surround a bunch of pirates.
Exactly.
Glue can take care of himself. It'll be fine.
Awesome. All right, so Jakob, you're sitting there tuning into it before doing anything. So, Glue, you're heading your stealth, and what was that stealth check? Straight roll.
26.
Very nice. Very nice, Rest. Woo! I hit something on my keyboard. Whoopsie daisies. All right. So we got you with a 26. You are feeling very unobserved. Like I said, there's sporadic lighting, but it's not organized enough to really keep there from being sections of shadows and just lesser visibility. And you're able to easily kind of navigate through those things, maybe even kind of swing, like using your acrobatic skill to kind of swing up under rope bridges and cross like small gaps where maybe it'd be a little harder, a little more crowded. As you are steadily and pretty quickly, I would say, making your way to the inner island. Are you staying on the docks, or are you going all the way to the island itself?
I am trying to go to the chain planks first and foremost.
Okay, first and foremost, are you going to try to cut across? Because you were told that it's about it's on the other side. It's on the district on the other side of you. Some of you guys like maybe a little bit diagonal, not exactly opposite. So are you cutting across the island, or are you just kind of going around?
Well, if the fighting pits are in between me and the chain planks, I'll just cut across the island.
Okay. So just cutting across the island. You also don't know much. You know that the chain planks are over there. Not sure exactly where they are on there. You just know they're over that way. So cutting across the island. So you got a 26. Or it will not. You fucking piece of shit. I hate this fucking program sometimes. Ah, that would be why, because I am just the dumbest fucking individual. Whatever. Roll this right now. We'll just see how it goes. If it even fucking matters, I don't think it does. There you are. Okay. As you start navigating your way through onto the island proper, like I said, you're coming up on. You come up and you kind of have to cut around this estate, which it does seem to have high stone walls
Mhm.
that kind of go probably about 20 feet up. And the gate, and there are guards on it. You see, like no like regalia or anything, but a couple of well-equipped pirates that seem to be kind of stood guard at the front. Torches do seem to be kind of at regular intervals, not on the inside, but you can see light kind of coming on the not on the outside, but coming from the inside. Looks like it's well lit on the inside for keeping watch on things, and you can see a manse of some kind there within, but you are able to sneak past. None of them seem to notice you as you make your way past. And there are pathways, not really paved, but well worn by a lot of traffic that kind of go in towards the center of the island, where there are a few other buildings and the like, but the fighting pits are pretty immediately obvious, as it is a big building, like kind of Colosseum-esque, but constructed of mostly wood and much more in a kind of rectangular, kind of square fashion. And but you can see it's pretty towering structure, not as tall as you would have expected. Are you going into it though? It seems to have multiple entrances and stuff that currently seem to be closed. A lot of doors and stuff that are shut, but
Does it seem like this is where the fighters are kept?
roll a perception check and tell me kind of what you're looking for to identify that.
Yeah, I would be listening for sounds. Oh, it doesn't matter. I rolled a fucking 8. Doesn't matter.
You don't seem to really hear anything. Like I said, this structure just seems to be erected around that you don't. I'll say even with an 8, you just kind of glance around. You don't see anything that immediately looks like it goes down or anything, and there doesn't seem to be any storage areas outside.
I'll look around before I try to go in or anything. I'll look around in the immediate area and surrounding buildings for just like barred windows or doors or just cages that are kept outside in the elements or whatever.
Okay. This one's gonna be more of like an investigation check, because you're kind of trying to kind of more closely examine some of the surrounding information.
Even worse, 5.
So there aren't a ton of buildings. Like it's pretty. Like it seems like there are a few like scatterings of maybe those are like guard posts during the day, or maybe something along those lines. Some like open areas that look like they have some erected like almost like permanently erected pavilions. So maybe they're there for like celebratory times of like if there's like a festival. You don't know what kind of festivals pirates have, but maybe that's what it's for. Um, and aside from the estates, like the island itself is relatively small. The vast majority of the size of Hull's Hearth is built out from it on all the docks and everything. The fighting pit itself really kind of dominates a lot of the space there in the middle. There is one other like fairly sizable building, and that one is constructed out of stone. You're not really sure what it's for, but it's also relatively nearby. But it does seem to be locked. No bars on the windows, but more sturdily constructed than anything else you've seen aside from the estates and the manses and stuff on them.
All right, I'll go check out in the fighting pits first.
Okay.
Just go look around.
Are you just trying to climb up and over, or are you trying to go in one of the doors?
Yeah, I'll just go up and over.
Okay. Roll a quick You have a climb speed, but we'll just kind of because why not?
Yeah, 29.
20, like it's nothing. Like I said, and this place isn't super duper tall. Like, it's not as tall as you would have expected. If it had to be like all walls up and then hold an area for people to fight in and everything. But as you kind of reach the top, makes a lot more sense why it maybe isn't as tall as you would have previously. It is probably about 30 feet high. Like as you kind of go up, so it's definitely not short by any means. But you get up and it is rows and rows of benches and bleachers. Like it's a lot of seating that kind of goes all the way around. It does seem like there are like boxes in on like one side where people preside, quite, but more like kind of sectioned off seating on one of the kind of longer ends. Um, but like I said, you see the reason why it's not taller than it is because it's called the fighting pits for a reason. Is a giant fucking hole has been dug right underneath. Like there is a rim that goes around the whole thing. Like there is room to walk on the ground at the bottom of the bleachers, but a lot of it is just this big ass hole that has been roughly dug in the ground. It seems to be filled with sand down there at the bottom. Looks, they're not stellar about cleaning, probably, unless they just absolutely have to. So there's say on pretty brief inspection, even with your passive perception being a bit low, um, that it definitely looks roughed up still. Like it looks like there's some stains in some of the sand in places.
Are there any doors like gladiator style, like doors going like from the pits down or anything like that, like where fighters would come up, or no?
Roll another quick perception check for me. He's just kind of glancing around this place.
18.
18, much better this time. You don't see any gladiatory that seem to go down. It does look like there are a couple of doors that are closer down to the bottom that looks like maybe you're not sure whether they go down or not. There aren't any down in the pits, but there are what appear to be some like rope ladders at regular intervals around the pit itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like that's how they get down in there, or somebody gets down in there, at least, and gets people out. But there are some doors that seem to from the infrastructure of like the bleachers that seem to be kind of just below.
And you said there seemed to be like some reserved seating, some like boxed off
like
seating.
Box seats, like I said, like like at like a football stadium. Like they're not just the bleachers. It looks like there's kind of this raised blocky area on one of the far ends.
I'm gonna go over there and see if I can find. I'm gonna look for any sort of like identifiers, like names or anything like that. Who these seats belong to, or something like that, if I could.
Roll a quick investigation check for me.
+0. 2.
None that you can immediately see. Like, Gloob's not an idiot. They're clearly reserved for somebody more important, but
right.
you don't see any names or anything associated. It does like there are like more permanent seating that's arranged there with like some tables and things like that for holding refreshment. This is for somebody more wealthy than the masses.
How many seats?
At this time, probably anywhere between we'll say like 6 or 7. Right at this time. Not exactly 5, which I assume is why you're asking.
All right. After see, there's no paperwork with names or anything like that. I'll split off from there and go to those doors.
Okay. They are locked.
I will pick that.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Which is +11, I believe. So I'm just gonna roll an acrobatics check, since you can't roll at these tools check.
Which is dumb, by the way.
Oof, low roll, 17.
17. Still good enough. They keep it locked, but it's not like crazy difficult. It's pretty standardized. You fiddle with it for a few seconds before getting that click, and you're able to kind of push on through the doors. Are you still stealthing?
Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead and refresh that stealth check for me. This one will be an advantage.
Oh, that's good. It's very good that was an advantage because that was a natural 2 at first.
Oh,
28.
28. Nice. All right. So are you just going down through the doors?
Yep.
Okay. So going down the set of doors, it is a corridor. It doesn't seem to slope up or down. It just seems to kind of go straight along even ground. Seems to have been kind of made sure to be pounded flat and mixture of maybe purposefully as well as just repeated footsteps back and forth. Um, Goes back along, quick ballpark math in my head, probably about 10 to 15 feet before it kind of opens up into a pretty sizable room that's pretty open and has benches kind of running along a couple of sides of it, like just long benches and racks of weapons. You see spears, glaives, axes, swords, short swords, battle axes, flails, all manner of instruments of killing the shit out of somebody else. Seem to nothing particularly flashy, all very functional though. Like solidly crafted, not meant to look good.
Right.
As well as probably an assortment of like some shields, maybe a few pieces of like spare armor, like some helmets and things of that nature. Looks like they have spare gear, or maybe all of them are geared up here. Maybe they have to use the pit's equipment. You don't know, but there is equipment in here. It looks like this is where they like a waiting room of sorts.
Can I look at where I'm not good at survival, but where footprints? I'm okay. Footprints are going to, or how did the footprints come into this room?
Yeah, roll survival check.
I'm proficient in survival because I am a grung. Nice. 17 plus 4 for 21.
Very nice. There are quite a few footprints. A lot of boots. Some barefoot. Some of like non-humanoid. Look like large paw prints maybe in some places. A few hooves. Um, but it does look like there is there is another entrance that seems to be entrances on both like far ends of this room. These doors are unlocked because they're inside, and if you just pick one and you go down to it, these doors seem to lead down another fairly short corridor before kind of turning and hitting another locked door, this time from the inside. Actually, they don't have to lock it to get out, but doesn't matter. You could pick it or whatever. You could probably unlock it. I'll say you could unlock it from the inside pretty easily.
Okay.
Without
Another.
a check, because it'd be
Okay.
Yeah, that's dumb. This is inside. This is where you're trying to get into. They could lock it from the inside, but they use a key for the outside. Locks are confusing. It's been a Monday. But just quick peek outside. These appear to be some of the doors that do enter from the outside.
Shit.
So it looks they are brought to the pits.
Brought to the pits from somewhere. Okay. I'll just kind of clock where that door is on the outside.
Yeah, you kind of clock. You can see this one. You can kind of see guesstimate distance where the other one would come out as well. And you figure probably more of the same on the other side. Looks like there's probably a waiting room on either side.
How many weapons?
High low. Real quick.
Always high.
Always high. Okay. Ow. Probably somewhere in the realm between like 15 to 20.
Are they currently all stored in the same 10-foot cube?
Looks like they're probably in a couple different places. They're on racks, so it looks like some of the racks seems to be empty, but some of them are currently spread out. You'd probably have to, if you were wanting to do the dust and without moving them yourself, you'd probably have to expend 2 packets.
No, I'm gonna move them closer together.
Okay, so you're just like, if you could cram all of them in one spot if you said so, you could just stack them up.
I'll just, as quietly as possible, stack them all together. And then
Just for shits and giggles, since you are trying to do it stealthily, roll me another stealth check.
23.
23. Quiet as mouse.
Dust over all of them.
It kind of poofs out, and it does seem to like for a moment before settling like quickly and like heavily down onto these things, and you already see it like eating away, like just etching away, and it almost seems like it's aging it like incredibly quickly. Any ferrous material, does it work on metal and wood or just metal?
Metal and wood.
Metal and wood, like is like a mixture of just speeding up the process of rusting, like to enormous.
A minute, I may have lied to you. 1 second. Surfaces and objects made of non-magical ferrous metal in the area instantly corrode and turn to dust, becoming useless and unsalvageable. Any creature in the area that's made wholly or partially out of ferrous metal must make a DC.
Okay, so
I thought it said wood too. Yeah, it's metal specifically.
Okay, well that still will more or less destroy that destroys the functionality of these weapons. Regardless, it just leaves a little bit of evidence that they were there, which presumably somebody would know they were there. But like almost an instantaneous process of like you had left these weapons out in like probably out like sitting in the salt water for like months, just seems to take course over seconds as they kind of melt away and turn to just metal flakes, just kind of all over the floor of this room.
I have taken away maybe 1 day of them being able to kill each other, and also confirmed that this dust works for what I need it to. So I will leave and go to that door outside.
Okay, you exit. You locking the door behind you, or you just leaving it?
Fuck locking doors back. I've said that ever since Seaton.
That's fair. It did not serve you well that time, so you just kind of leave it. Sure.
Leave it, and I'll climb up and over to that door and see if I can clock the footprints where they were being led to from here. It's kind of like reverse track them back to where they came from.
Okay, roll another survival check for me.
Shitballs. 18. 14 plus 4.
Not terrible. There are a lot of footprints. So leaving from the like following from the exit of like the waiting room area, kind of going from there. It does meet up with like the regular paths. I mean, even with an 18 though, you kind of followed along. We'll say these ones in particular. Let's see here. I need a different size die. That's number. Sorry, I have my little sheet of paper here. It does seem to kind of put you on one of the paths that leads more towards the. If here was the pale flower, is where you were. Was at the point, like in your point of reference. I'm sorry. Is kind of diagonal, kind of on this what would be your left if you were kind of with your back towards the the district you came from. It seems to be the general direction it's going. It's you start as you get farther along that main path, though you do kind of lose those individual footprints, but that is the direction they were going.
Going back towards the district I just came from?
No.
Okay.
District you came from to your back, it would be this way, diagonal to your left.
Gotcha. Okay, misunderstood. So I was like,
what
the
fuck?
I
was trying to think of how to like distribute. I should give you guys a map, probably. I'll sketch out like a rough one that you guys would be able to construct pretty easily yourselves, and so that you guys have a little more easy reference material.
Is this sort of the direction of the chain planks?
You know that the chain planks were a little kind of diagonal to your right. If you guys were the head of the star, of kind of how these districts are arranged, very not neat star. Saying it's a star makes it a lot cleaner than it is, or makes it sound a lot cleaner than it is. If y'all are the head of the star, the bottom, the kind of this right from you would be where the chain planks you were told were at. Left is where these appear to be going.
they can't parade them forever. That one's got to be closer. I'm gonna go left first.
Okay. So, heading off that way. Refresh me once more a stealth check, as you're now out of that place.
Okay, straight roll or advantage.
This one's with advantage. Like I said, you've got this for right now. You're going off of sound largely as well.
23.
Pretty good. All right. As you're stealthing along, you do have to start to go past another one of these estates. And as you're creeping along, roll perception check for me real quick.
22. 18 plus 4.
Okay. You hear movement heading in your direction. As you kind of glance over and you see a humanoid shaped individual, medium, indescript, but cloaked in darker colors with a hood up, and seems to be holding, like, seems to have hands underneath their cloak. Like, you can't see their arms right now, but they are seeming to beeline towards you.
I'm gonna duck down an alleyway and hide.
Currently, there is no alleyway. You're still on the island. If you can get onto the docks, like into the district proper, then there would be kind of more alleyways, more hidey holes.
Are they running at me, or are they just kind of keeping pace right now?
They seem to be gaining on you slowly. They seem to have spotted you and seem to be moving in your direction. They like moving stealthily themselves, but you did notice them in turn. So this is kind of that decision you're making as you spot them having spotted you.
Gotcha. There's nowhere I can like duck and try to lose them or anything like that. Like go around the corner of a building and then fucking straight up that building if I need to.
Like I said, not a super big island.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the only like real buildings are the fighting pits, that other large stone structure that is kind of also in the center, and then the estates of each of the princes. Like
Gotcha.
there's a few like small areas, like I said, where it looks like maybe pavilion, like there's kind of a permanent pavilion setup kind of deal going on, but no like real buildings. There's a few scattered like palm trees and things, like some more tropical vegetation. Nothing super big though. You do have a lot of movement though. So are you going to try to just kind of break out, try to break line of sight, and then re-stealth?
Yeah.
Okay. You take off. The whoever it is does seem to immediately start to give chase. You're a bit faster than them though, so you're ducking around, kind of breaking your line of sight between some trees and bushes. Go ahead and roll another stealth check for me.
27.
Okay. Alright. Sorry, I just saw that somebody said almost an hour ago for me to move my mic closer. My bad. It's very very hard to remember sometimes. Okay. With a total of 27, you kind of get over there and you break, and you kind of, as you stop and wait, you see that same individual taking a few steps.
Can I try to see their face?
Roll a perception check for me. Do you have dark vision? Oh yeah, you have your goggles, right?
Mm-hmm. Natural 1.
As they're creeping through, you are, let's say, part of you're in a bush right now, and so you've got like these leaves and everything's kind of breaking up your line of sight, and as you're just kind of sat dead still in there, barely even breathing, you see this individual start to creep through, and at this point you do see in each hand a couple of very familiar, like wickedly serrated long knives in each hand. creeping through. You can't, like I said, unfortunately, with a natural one, this bush that you're in, even as they creep very close by, you see them scanning the ground and looking around. Step, almost completely silent. They're good. Step, step. Not as good as you though. Step, step. They do start to move off, not seeming to have spotted your hiding place.
And he's here. He's with the fucking slavers in this area.
Like I said, familiar.
Mm.
When you interrogated that guy, he told you he was not the only one of his profession.
Right.
That there are others like him.
Right.
Within Hullshearth.
Gotcha. Okay.
Figure probably one of those. Could be the same guy.
Right.
But you're not quite sure.
Yeah, once he gets down the road a little bit, I'll try to redirect myself. If I can't figure out where these steps are going from the fighting pits, I'll just break over to the chain links.
Okay. So you're kind of over by this other district, that the left leg of the star right now, which is where those steps appear to be going. And the thing is, you would know as soon as it hits the docks. It's kind of a toss-up. You're not going to be able to track via footprints there. It's a little more guesswork. You'd have to have somebody to follow or some other kind of trail.
Right.
But with your 28, do you kind of want to keep going on to that district, or are you going to head back towards the district where you know the chain planks are located?
I'm going to go to the chain planks because I can't search an entire district with no sort of lead.
How long has it been?
I would say at this point, moving stealthily, I'd say probably as Gloob was exiting the fighting pits, it had been about an hour. So is when you would have finished your attunement process.
Yeah, I'd make contact pretty much as soon as possible. I'm just like, what's the plan? Do you need me to leave now?
I haven't found anyone yet. It's a problem. It looks like they're keeping the fighters for the fight. So I found the fighting pit. That's the only thing I found, though. And it looks like they're keeping the fighters for that on the left leg of the back left leg of the island. I can't keep looking on there. I've lost footprints because they're apparently stored out on the docks somewhere on the left leg. So we can figure out whose district that is from Artois, I guess. I'm going to head to the chain planks right now and give you more information as soon as I get there.
All right.
Found no slaves yet.
Do you want me to leave? Come to you?
I want to see what it looks like before I get you to walk all the way out here. They have people looking is the only problem, and not just it's not. Yeah, they have a lot of people looking around here. There's a lot of eyes.
When you noticed that guy, when you saw that guy starting to tail you, when whoever that was seemed to have noticed you, was kind of when you were passing by the estate that was the start of this district.
Right. Are all the estates on the island proper?
Yes. Every single one. They kind of ring the outside with that other large stone building and the fighting pits kind of in the middle.
Some of the princes may not like slavery, but they don't have a problem overlooking it every day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
benefiting from it. So.
Yeah. I'll let you know as soon as I get to the gangplanks or the chain planks.
All right. Should I come? If you need me to come, should I come in my plate?
If I need you to come, I think I'm going to be dead before there's anything you can really do about it. So I'll be all right. I'll be back to you. This is just so in case anything does happen, I can tell you where to meet me afterwards or something. I'm going to have to hide immediately though. But if I get caught, It's over for me.
All right.
I'll walk over to the chain planks.
Okay. You still
Stay safe.
Staying stealth?
Yeah.
Okay. So, riding on your 28 since you haven't really done anything to break that stealth, I won't say.
27. Just want to be
27,
honest.
27, not 28. Okay. So, making your way over to that kind of back right leg, or top right leg, I suppose. It's really awkward because we're looking at this star from upside down. But making your way, you do see some more guards. You kind of swing wide a little bit around the estate that leads into this district. And start to make your way. At this point, it's well past midnight. You're kind of closing on 2 a.m. pretty rapidly. Things are starting to die down. There's still a few, people out that maybe, they're gonna be sitting, they're gonna be on land, air quotes, for maybe a few more days. But for the most part, the evening has begun to die down as people just get too drunk and just fall asleep, or been knocked unconscious perhaps, or any number of reasons to have ceased their festivities. Um, as you creep along easily past fewer and fewer lights as they've kind of started to die out, and don't really have anybody maintaining those here. The chain planks aren't hard to find. Just roll a quick investigation. We'll just see how long it does take you, because these are sprawling areas that with no particular form of organization.
Natural 19 for a total of 19.
Very nice. You do find them pretty quickly, and as would be logical, they are a little closer to the end if they are meant for the selling and the where slaves are to be immediately brought in to the island itself. So they're closer to so less distance to cover from ship to chain planks. And let's see. Gotta just roll this.
Real quick.
Percentiles. Yes, sir.
I would start putting on my armor.
Okay, so you're armoring up. Bart, have you just gone to sleep, or are you sitting up while Jakob's been attuning to the earpiece?
I'll see Jakob start to armor up and be like, yeah, Jakob, don't worry, son. I know what you're doing. Just make sure if you got in a fight, you didn't get too drunk beforehand. I mean, it's a nice place for him. Let him have a little bit of a good time, but it's good you're going to look after him. You don't got to keep it a secret or anything like that.
I don't like pirates.
Well, that doesn't really, maybe Breela can come with you?
I'm not going anywhere now. Just needs help. Better have plate on than not.
All right. Have you heard from him?
Yeah, you said he was fine.
Okay. Bart will just, sure, whatever.
Alright. Like I said, closing on 2 in the morning at this point. I'm just going to assume Julian has gone to bed. That's where Julian is. Julian.
I gave
Shark,
it
he
I
snores.
gave it a DC 15 Constitution save if
Trying
Bart
to
would
stay
wake up.
awake.
Yeah, for Bart to wake up, and I rolled an 18.
Look at him go. Bart said, I'm looking out for my boys. But yeah, creeping in, you arrive at somewhere that this looks like the place. Gloob. As there are, it is a broad section of the docks that are relatively all together, like one big section that doesn't seem to be broken up by these shanty town buildings that are kind of amuck everywhere else. And there are smaller, like, raised platforms in a lot of places, kind of dotting around on the edges, and a lot of like I don't hesitate to say pillars, but like smaller poles that seem to have rings attached, kind of going around them in multiple places. And there seem to be rings that are attached to these raised platforms in a couple of places around, kind of going all around. None of which appear to be occupied at this time, but on a far side, kind of actually on the inside. That would be up against where you would start to get into the more populated areas. Like it looks like they kind of keep them so they can come in through the clear side. There's a row of cages. Currently, as you come up, appears to be populated by 20 or so humanoids that you can see. All of them appear to be asleep at this time. It's a tropical island, pretty temperate climate, so all just kind of curled as individuals, or some appear to be huddled together. You know, if maybe they came in or knew each other, but all in various states of sleep.
20 people. How many cages?
20-ish. Seems to be about 5 cages that are. I say seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cages.
I see guards.
Right. Not at this time.
About 20 people. 5 cages or so. Don't see any guards at the moment.
You want to try to let him out? I think if you do, I should probably be nearby.
Hang back with Bart for right now. I'm just gonna watch. And you need to roll an insight check.
Oh.
And you don't need to roll an insight check.
Ooh, are you sure about that?
All right, well, we can't critically fail on skills, right? Your DC is 6.
Okay. I got an 8.
I do.
And when Gloop says that, he will take out the earpiece and put it in his pocket.
No, Gloop, my boy.
So is Jakob getting from this that Gloob is just not going to sit and watch?
You so let's see. Yeah. He doesn't know what he's gonna do yet. Bluebeard's gonna go talk to someone in those cages, though.
Jakob's response to that will be to stand up very loudly and unsheath his hand axe and walk out of the room.
Wait, where are you gonna go doing with your axes?
Already gone.
Stepped out of the room, just walking away.
Actually, not even walking out. I would stand up, unsheath the axe, and haul ass out. And cast...
Expeditious retreat.
Yep, Expeditious Retreat.
As you're getting up and going to leave the room, knowing, oh shit, Gloob just lied to me, and he's not responding on the earpiece anymore. Fuck. That kind of ache that had kind of settled down in your hand after that one night just abruptly flares up as all your joints, like it feels like you got like 90-year-old arthritis. All of a sudden, then that arm is that desire of I gotta get there right fucking now. And that pain just flares up really intensely, seeming like going all the way up to your elbow in that arm, and you start hauling some ass. which probably shoulder checking some few people that are still around
Oh, no.
out of the way. Getting some probably not nice things called after you. Yeah. So Yakov, you are inbound. What are you doing, Bart? At that, Julian. He's doing that thing that dogs do. He looks like he's murdering something in his sleep. Like he's probably hunting something.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Obviously, Bart's not gonna not wake up fucking Julian with that fucking exchange.
Yeah.
So I feel like this just might be the point where we might need to wait till next week, because I'm definitely gonna wake up fucking Julian.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm your action. So as Yakov, as you are bolting, magically enhanced by speed, Gloob, you have gone incommunicado and aren't quite sure what you're gonna do. But it's something. And Bart runs over and shakes the shit out of Julian to wake his ass up. That's where we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's session, because the important shit's about to go down, and I'm not gonna assume actions. We're only 6 minutes away from our normal end time anyway, so it works out. Okay. Well, everybody, that's fun and exciting. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here the whole time, Julian. You've been rapt attention. Like, I could see his face.
Just the worry in his eyes is evident.
The face he's making right now looks like probably the face oh shit face that he could possibly be making if he was here. But thank you guys for joining me to play. I'm having a good time. This is probably playing out more or less how I should have expected. And anybody that has stuck around the whole time, I thank you so much. Anybody that stuck around for just part of the time, if you popped in even for just for a few, I appreciate it. Even if you're not here anymore to hear it, I appreciate you. Drop a follow though if you're still around, because then you'll know when we go live and you can see us do stuff like we do here on Mondays. This game right here, the Ghost of Saltmarsh, DM by myself and these lovely gentlemen all around me. But then on Saturdays we have a different game. Not this Saturday though, unfortunately, some RL stuff. But normally on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have our Across Eberron campaign, which is DM'd by the lovely gentleman right here to my right with the green shirt and the purple background, Mr. Gloob himself. He is God on Saturdays. Myself and some of these gentlemen around me, plus some others, are here for that, and that's a ton of fun. I died and came back to life recently, so that's cool. Yeah, it'd be like that. But so come check us out for those. Once again, we are raising money for the International Medical Corps, who are helping people on the mental and physical health front over in Ukraine. So click on the link that is hopefully popping up here momentarily, and do what you can if you can. It's a good cause. We greatly appreciate it. And as we leave, we're gonna raid some buddies over there at Ink and Lyre. They do D&D things over there. So show them love and be kind to one another. See y'all later. Bye.
All right.